Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Andrew Kiorkof, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are talking about, of course, everything related to Week 17. I want to, of course, say Happy New Year. For those of you who haven't checked out the last couple of videos, welcome to 2022. And, of course, thank you for joining us here on Week 17 Sunday live stream Kickoff with Kiorkof, as we'll be, of course, giving you guys all of my overall opinions going into this weekend's matchups in order to help us win a 2021 Fantasy Football Championship. As we typically have on screen today, is my rankings for a half PPR scoring format up to date as of this morning. So if you're interested in knowing how I would play respective running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, quarterbacks in a half PPR scoring format, 4 point per passing touchdown format, it is on screen for those of you who are interested. Outside of that, I will be answering questions for those of you who are trying to jump the line, because I want to answer everybody's questions, but I can't. There's a lot of you and one of me. But if you're trying to jump the line, get your question answered, send in a donation via the super chat. If you do so, be sure to tell me what your scoring format is so I have a better understanding as to how I can help you out and give you my best overall suggestion so I can help you win this upcoming or in this given week. Outside of that, we're good to go. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We have a lot to go through, so I just want to get right into it bright and early. Again, for those of you who haven't yet already and you're here, click the like button. Certainly does help the channel a lot. So I greatly appreciate that. All right, let's get into this, shall we? A couple people sent in questions very early this morning. I'm glad I caught them. So beginning with Daryl Bottoms. His question was Trey Lance or Tyler Huntley this week? Off the rip, I think that Tyler Huntley is probably the better play. I love Trey Lance against the Houston Texans today, but I do think there's similar plays to the point where Tyler Huntley, regardless of the fact that he plays against the Los Angeles Rams, has already shown that he can go ahead, play against top-tier NFC defenses like the Green Bay Packers and show out. This week they're at home. It is a long travel for the Los Angeles Rams to go to Baltimore. I'd go with Huntley there over Mr. Trey Lance, the rookie quarterback. Your second question was Dallas or the Niners defense. I'd play the Dallas defense. And then your final question there, Daryl Bottoms, was OBJ/AB if he plays, or Devonta Smith. I would play AB if he plays, of course, ahead of all of the wide receivers you mentioned. Then I'd play OBJ second and Devonta Smith last. So that's the order. So if you're currently in a position of playing AB or OBJ, yeah, I would stick with that until further notice. Play one of the two until we get confirmation on Antonio Brown today. Next question, Doug Mathena sends in a question, says standard scoring format, Russell Wilson or Trey Lance. At that position, I do prefer Trey Lance over Russell Wilson today. Based on the weather, of course, that is going to be plaguing the Seattle Seahawks and Detroit Lions in that matchup. So I would go Trey Lance. As for your next question, at the flex position, Allen Lazard, Kareem Hunt if he plays, and Michael Pittman Jr. Thanks, bro. Let's win the championship. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and capture that. We're hunting a championship today, and hopefully we'll be able to get that for you. I think Michael Pittman's probably the safest play of the bunch. With Carson Wentz back, him being fully cleared, I think this is the best position to go ahead and play a wide receiver who last week against the Arizona Cardinals, did he play? Yeah, he played against the Arizona Cardinals on Saturday. Man, that seems like such a long time ago. The fact that there wasn't a Thursday game just kind of got me off track for a second there, but holy moly. He caught the ball 8 times for 81 yards plus, so anytime he's able to get that kind of yardage, and then if he has the ability to accompany that with a touchdown, he's in a pretty strong position. Allen Lazard is a little bit of a lesser play because of the return of Marquez Valdes-Scantling and the fact that it should be a one-sided affair. Kareem Hunt, not really risking it on Monday, so I just play Pittman today. Thank you very much, Doug. Appreciate it. Trent says, Damian Harris, Elijah Mitchell, or Antonio Brown at the flex position in a half PPR scoring format. I would play Damian Harris there. Earlier this week, I did have Elijah Mitchell a little bit higher on the list, but considering he has been questionable all week, I don't know just truly how healthy he is. I do have confidence in him, and I do have him ranked relatively high, but I'm not 100%, believing that he's going to, run for 2 touchdowns and 100+ yards. There is still Deebo Samuel. There is still Jeff Wilson, of course, a rushing quarterback like Trey Lance. So it does kind of decrease his overall upside. I'd go Damian Harris there. Moving on, Matthew 1031 says, good morning. Full PPR league. Going to play Eckler, of course, Deebo Samuel, and A.J. Brown. Those are your studs, so of course we're playing those. Need help starting 2 out of Ronald Jones, Zeke, DeAndre Swift, Jamar Chase, Hunter Renfrow. All right, in a full PPR scoring format, I would play Ronald Jones there for sure. And then the next best option, I'm probably thinking between Zeke and DeAndre Swift. I think I'm going to go DeAndre Swift there. I really do like Jamar Chase, but man, that Kansas City defense is really nothing to mess around with. And Renfrow is great, but if Renfrow doesn't have those, like that 8 to 9 catch kind of game, he's not going to be able to keep up with some of these other guys. Yeah, in a full PPR, I really do think that Swift will get himself established as a receiver, not only as a runner. And in a matchup in which should be a rainy game, he should be able to dominate. So for right now, I'd say Rojo, Swift, and then the next best at that point would be Jamar after Swift, and then Zeke, and then Renfrow. Thank you very much, Matthew. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Will sends in a question. Says full PPR, pick 2, Waddle, Deontay Johnson, or Brandon Cooks. Great question. I would play Deontay Johnson and Jalen Waddle. Both these guys have been studs all season long. I really do like Brandon Cooks, especially against Josh Norman today. But for right now, in a full PPR scoring format, I feel more comfortable leaning in the direction of Jalen Waddle, who's had 3 consecutive games with 10-plus targets. We know Big Ben's going to be looking for Deontay Johnson. In his last 3 games against the Cleveland Browns, he's had over 95 receiving yards in every single one of those contests, and we know how much Big Ben likes to target Deontay, so there's just an automatic rapport there that I'm more confident in than in Brandon Cooks and Dougie Mills. So Jalen Waddle, Deontay Johnson, those are my suggestions there. We'll appreciate it. Moving on, let's see here. Okay, so if I come back to this chat, I think everything's caught up there. Awesome. Okay, want to again remind you guys, there's about 500 of you in here. If there's 500 of you in here, congratulations for those of you who are in a championship game. For those of you who play in a Week 18 championship, of course, we're trying to get you there as well. We're trying to get to, securing that title. But either way, I just want to, of course, once again mention, this has been a marathon. This has been one of the toughest seasons. I mean, in regards to injuries, in regards to the COVID, completely decimating some of our teams, it has certainly been something that just continues to test us as fantasy football players. So congratulations, pat yourselves on the back because really it was not easy getting to this position. So congratulations for, continuing to fight through, drafting a good team, and of course making great decisions on a weekly basis, because as much as you guys may think, I'm helping you, a lot of the decisions are made by you. But at the end of the day, you guys drafted your teams, you guys played it, you guys, worked the trade, the waiver wires, all that kind of stuff. So congrats on making it this far. Let's close it out tonight. Here we go. All right, continuing on. So the next question is from Joseph Myers. Joseph says, full PPR, AB, Waddle, St. Brown, Swift, Rojo, Jamar Chase. I need 2. All right, great. Out of this group of players, I think the safest play is probably going Rojo and Jalen Waddle and just stacking those 2. I think AB is a fantastic play, and he is higher in my overall rankings. But what I'm thinking is AB should be great. Okay, he had 10 catches last week for 100 yards. That's 20-plus points. Easy. But if we're just going off of full PPR safety, the rankings adjust a little bit. I would just play Waddle, and I would play Rojo, and we're good to go there, Joseph. Appreciate it. Phil sends in a question, says, I'm in the championship for the 2nd year in a row. Let's win this. Pick 2 running backs, Jacobs, Damian Williams. What was this? Oh, okay, it got cut off. So let me see if I can go find the full version of this. Okay, here we go. Full version of the question. Melvin Gordon, James Conner, and Justin Jackson. Okay, so out of the group of players that you mentioned, you said Damian Williams. I don't know if you meant Darrell Williams, but if you mean Damian Williams as of the running back for the Chicago Bears, then yeah, I don't want to play Damian Williams. So we'll go ahead, not playing Damian Williams. It's between Jacobs, James Conner, Melvin Gordon, and Justin Jackson. At that point, I would play Josh Jacobs for sure, and I would play Melvin Gordon second, because James Conner is still a toss-up in the air as to whether or not he plays today. So if we're picking 2 running backs out of that group, and it really is Damian Williams instead of Darrell, I would go Jacobs and Melvin Gordon. If it is Darrell Williams, I go Jacobs and Darrell. Thank you very much, Phil. Ron T sends in a question, says, flex 2 out of these potential players. AJ Green, Derek Gumbawale, Deontay Harris, Braxton Berrios, and Zay Jones in a full PPR. If we're playing 2 out of this group of players in a full PPR scoring format, I'd go AJ Green, and I'm thinking, do I rather play Dare instead of Braxton Berrios in a full PPR scoring format? I think it would be tough for them. I'd go AJ Green and Braxton Berrios there in a full PPR scoring format. Considering we know for sure Jamison Crowder and Elijah Moore are both going to be out for the New York Jets, I think Braxton Berrios probably gets a little bit more utilization today. So I go Green and Berrios. Thank you. Phil with another question says, pick 2 wide receivers in a flex. We have Cooper Kupp, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Hunter Renfrow, Rashad Bateman, and the other running backs listed previously for a potential flex option. Okay, so if we're playing 2 wide receivers out of this group, of course, it's Cooper Kupp and A.J. Brown. In the flex position, I'm playing Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're good to go. Phil in the chat was saying, it is Darrell Williams, my bad. Okay, no problem. Phil, I had an idea that it was probably Darrell Williams because Damian Williams used to play for the Chiefs. Either way. So, Phil, in that regard, play Josh Jacobs and Darrell Williams at running back. Play Cooper Kupp and A.J. Brown on wide receiver. I'd play Amon-Ra St. Brown in the flex position. And I know you sent in another question here, Phil, so I'll go ahead and just grab that. You have Schultz at the tight end position, so that's great. You're good to go there. In regards to your defense, you have the Saints. Great. That's my number 3 defense on the week. Matt Gay, he's my number 1 kicker on the week. Yeah, you're good to go. Congratulations on building a great team. Let's go ahead and let's just bring it home. Ron T with another question. Says, start 2, Ayuk, Gallup, Boston Scott, or Derek Gumbawale in a full PPR scoring format. In a full PPR scoring format, I would play Brandon Ayuk and I would play Boston Scott. Thank you. Mario Robles says, non-PPR, pick 5. Okay, great. We have multiple options here. Deebo Samuel, Jamar Chase, Antonio Brown, David Montgomery, Najee Harris, Aaron Jones. Holy moly. Okay. So if we're picking 5 in a non-PPR scoring format, we are going to play Deebo, Montgomery, Najee, Aaron Jones, and then I would play AB over Jamar Chase at the end. So the only player we're sitting out of the 6 that you've mentioned here, Mario, is we're sitting Jamar Chase. Otherwise, you play the rest of the game. As for your follow-up question, Huntley or Lance, was asked a little bit earlier. Again, I do have my updated rankings on screen, as you guys can see. I currently do still have Tyler Huntley, Taysom Hill, just slightly ahead of Trey Lance. Look, Trey Lance is a fantastic running quarterback. In his 2 performances this season, he's obviously ran the ball a bunch. His inefficiency in the passing game is what scares me. Again, in his first game where he came in when Jimmy Garoppolo left with an injury, 9 for 18 passing. The other game, also less than 50% passing completion percentage. Even in the first game in which he scored against Seattle, both those touchdowns were flukish. One was a screen pass to Deebo Samuel that went to the house. The other one was a busted coverage 30 yards wide open down the field, Deebo Samuel to the house. So there are some concerns about Trey Lance. And I do think that the Texans, based on how they performed, especially last week against the Los Angeles Chargers, they're more of a trap game than a lot of people anticipate. But that being said, I still think that Huntley got himself a pretty good position. A guy that's had 70% passing completion percentage in his last 3 starts, 40-plus rushing yards in every single game, and is continuing to light it up. I'm going Huntley there. Says the other guy has Mark Andrews, so I'm leaning towards Huntley. Yeah, I'm still in that direction. Even if he didn't have Andrews, I still want to play the better quarterback in my eyes. Thank you, Mario. Appreciate it. Phil says, should have mentioned that earlier, but it's full PPR. Yeah, I assumed it was full PPR, Phil, because you've sent an earlier question, so you're good to go, my guy. Joseph Meyer sends another question, says, for my previous question answer, Andrew, I meant to ask, okay, so you need 3. Okay, you meant to ask, you need 3. Okay, so let's go up, Joseph, and see what you got here. Okay, so we had, okay, great. So I think this makes it a little bit easier on me. At that point, Joseph, you would play Rojo, Waddle, and AB, and we're good to go. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. You have a lot of great options to choose from there. Saud Bakari sends in a question, says 2 championships, help with lineup PPR, point per first down league. Damn, okay. 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, and a flex. We have Keenan Allen, A.J. Brown, Nick Chubb, Austin Eckler, Schultz, Antonio Brown, Javonte Williams, bench has Cordero Patterson, Hunter Henry, DJ Moore, Devonta Smith, and Jarrett Patterson. Okay. So if we need 2 running backs out of this group of players, of course, we're playing Eckler and Chubb. That is a non-contest. We're good to go. 2 wide receivers, Keenan Allen, A.J. Brown. I'm not contesting that either. I would play Antonio Brown in the flex position. Schultz is perfectly fine at the tight end position over Hunter Henry. Of course, he's been incredible in the last 2 games. Javonte Williams, is there anybody else that is a better option than him in a PPR format right now? DJ Moore could get that, but I would honestly just play Javonte there, considering the overall matchup and the lack of weapons the Denver Broncos have. So yeah, you're good to go there, Mr. Bakari. Thank you very much for the question. Appreciate the donation. Very generous of you. So that's first league. You're good to go. You're set. As for your second league, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 1 flex, full PPR scoring for it. We have Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Eckler, Rojo, Goddard, Antonio Brown. Okay. And then we have Brandon Cooks, Barkley, Javonte, McLaurin, and then Jarrett Patterson as well. Okay. So in terms of this second team, League 2, 2 running backs, Eckler and Rojo for sure, non-contested. Wide receivers, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Adams. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Obviously, I prefer Antonio Brown and Adams first and foremost. And the flex position, if you're putting Antonio Brown there, it doesn't really matter. I do currently, if I'm not mistaken, let me check my full PPR rankings here. I think I do have Brandon Cooks ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown in a full PPR. Let me just confirm this. Let's go full PPR. I do not. Okay, never mind. I thought I did for a second there, but never mind. So never mind. I think you're pretty much good to go at that point. Amon-Ra St. Brown, yep. Goddard at the flag or tight end. Yeah, you're fine. That's how I would play it. I currently have Amon-Ra St. Brown slightly ahead, 2 spots ahead of Brandon Cooks. So you're good to go there, Mr. Bakari. Thank you very much. Good luck this weekend. Drew sends in a question. All right, Drew, let's see what you have for us today. So Drew says, Pittman, OBJ, or A.J. Dillon in the flex position. Currently this week, regardless, I don't know what scoring format you're playing. And let's say half PPR, full PPR. Either one, I'm still playing OBJ. So that's my suggestion. Even in a standard scoring format, I think I'd still play OBJ. I think he's got that much value against the Baltimore Ravens today. So I'm going OBJ, Drew. Thank you very much for your question. Steven sends in a question. Says, half PPR scoring format. I need a running back and a flex out of Saquon, Derek Mbuwale, St. Brown, Donta Foreman, Mike Williams, Jared Patterson, and Jordan Howard. All right, cool. So I'm for sure in the flex position playing St. Brown. Then the next question is, who am I playing a running back? I'm probably leaning in a half PPR towards Saquon Barkley. It may seem sketchy, and I do agree that it is sketchy to an extent, but I think he's your best option because Jordan Howard's still questionable to play. Don't know if he's 100% in. Even if he is in, there's a possibility that he could re-injure himself. Jared Patterson, rookie running back, filling in, certainly going to be risky in itself. Dare against the New England Patriots, that's risky. Donta Foreman against the best run-stopping defense in the league. I just play Saquon and St. Brown there. Thank you very much, Steven. Q Crew says, thanks for all the help this year. Full PPR, Jamar Chase, Damian Harris, Rashad Penny for the flex position. If I'm playing one in a full PPR scoring format, I'm playing Rashad Penny in the flex in a full PPR. Thank you very much. Enrique Cortez says, DJ Moore, Zeke, OBJ, MVS, Mike Evans, start 2, thanks. All right, so really quickly, I know many people are going to ask in regards to where the heck is Mike Evans on the rankings. From what I read, they said that Mike Evans is going to be limited today. I do not want to play any limited wide receivers. We did that earlier this season, and we got 10 points out of DeAndre Hopkins, and he literally scored on the first drive and never caught a ball the rest of the game. So in any capacity, I'm not interested in playing someone that's limited. So automatically, I'm eliminating Mike Evans from that. MVS, not really interested in either. So the two out of the 3 options are going to come from DJ Moore, Zeke, and OBJ. If it's a half PPR scoring format, I'm going Zeke and probably DJ Moore. If it's a full PPR scoring format, probably DJ Moore and OBJ. That's how I'd run it. So for right now, Zeke and DJ Moore. I'm considering, I don't know what your scoring format is, and I'm going to assume it's a half PPR. Thank you very much, Enrique. DB4331 says, Matt Ryan versus Buffalo, Huntley versus the LA Rams, or Derek Carr versus Indianapolis. Thank you very much. I'd play Huntley for sure. I think Matt Ryan against Buffalo is a disaster, especially considering, he's not one of the greatest quarterbacks, to grace the turf, on top of the fact that it's really tough matchup. Derek Carr would have been a better option if, in fact, Carson Wentz was not going to play, because that Indianapolis Colts offense would sputter a bit and they would give Derek Carr more opportunities to succeed. That not being the case, I'm going Tyler Huntley there. Thank you. DB4331 also sends another question. Says, flex Braxton Berrios versus Tampa Bay or Gabriel Davis versus Atlanta. If we're playing in a half PPR scoring format, I would play Gabriel Davis. If you're playing in a full, go Braxton Berrios. That's where I would kind of lean in the direction of. All right, Paul sends in a question. Says, Zeke or Penny in the flex full PPR. I'd play Rashad Penny, Paul. Thank you very much. JD says, Dak at the quarterback in a full PPR. Okay. Sit Mixon, Keenan Allen, David Montgomery, CeeDee Lamb, or Deontay Johnson. I have to sit one out of that group. We're not sitting the running back, so I'm playing Mixon and David Montgomery in a full PPR. So if it's between Keenan Allen, Deontay Johnson, and CeeDee Lamb, now I understand why you said Dak is at your quarterback position, because I have to sit CeeDee Lamb here. That is why you said that. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm suggesting. Either way, I'm suggesting you sit CD, even though I don't like it. I think at this position we might have to. I think it's a great matchup against the Arizona Cardinals, but I mean I'm pretty sure in a full PPR, yeah, I'd rather play Deontay Johnson and Keenan Allen. Thank you. Europa says David Montgomery or Ronald Jones in a standard scoring format. Okay, between the two, I am playing Ronald Jones. David Montgomery would have an argument in a full PPR considering how incredible he has been in terms of catching the ball out of the backfield. But at this point, I'm going to go with Rojo. As for your follow-up question, my other running backs are Cook and Mixon. Okay, yeah, cool. So in a standard format, I'm great playing Rojo, Cook, and Mixon there. You're good to go. Thank you, Roba. Ezekiel Elliott sends in a question, imagine. Says Dak or Lance? Pick 2, Swift, Zeke, Damian Harris. All right, great. So I think... I mean, if your account name is Ezekiel Elliott and you're not playing Zeke, I think you're doing it wrong, right? So, but either way, in between the running backs, if we just look at running backs by itself, I think I'm playing Damian Harris for sure. If you're a Zeke account and you're not playing Zeke, I think you're making a mistake. So then you just play Damian Harris and Zeke. And then as for the quarterbacks, I do prefer Dak over Lance today. Thank you. Underscore sends in a question, says, have some guys out with COVID injuries, COVID/injuries. In Dynasty, need 2. In a flex position, half PPR, Mike Williams, OBJ, Darnell Mooney, or Daryl Gumbawale. OBJ for sure. That's your first flex. As for your second flex, I would prefer to play Darnell Mooney today. Thank you very much. Again, Allen Robinson, he's been out for the last couple weeks. I know with Andy Dalton into the lineup, it may seem a little bit sketchy, but I mean, I think Darnell Mooney truly is your best option there. Thank you. Futuristic Old School sends in a question, says half PPR, we need to pick 2 for the championship game. We have Elijah Mitchell, we have Singletary, Swift, Damian Harris, Cordero Patterson. Thanks. Okay. If Cordero Patterson had put up greater numbers in the last couple weeks, I'd have more confidence, but I don't have that confidence. Therefore, I think the best 2 options are probably Damian Harris and Elijah Mitchell. Those are the 2. If I had to rank them from top to bottom, again, in a half PPR scoring format, as you guys can see on screen, it is there. So if you were wondering, Damian Harris at 12, Elijah Mitchell at 13, followed by DeAndre Swift at 16, and then we have ourselves Devin Singletary at 19, Cordero Patterson at 25. So again, if you're interested, rankings are on the screen. There's about 500, there's 800 of you in here. How did 800 of you make the championship? There's like the same amount of people every Sunday. That's crazy. Hey, congratulations, guys. That's awesome. Either way, I would play Damian Harris and Elijah Mitchell. That's my suggestion there. Appreciate it. Mr. Futuristic Old School. All right. Okay, there was a donation sent in by Dante Turner, but I don't know. Okay, you sent in another one after. Okay, so we'll get to the one. Okay, you sent in a couple after. Okay, because the first one didn't have a message attached, so yeah. Jimmy Casket sends in a question, says, who do I start in the flex? Antonio Brown, A.J. Brown, or Sony Michel in a full PPR? In a full PPR scoring format, it is a really good question. Mainly because I love Sony Michel, but he's never going to be able to get those extra points via the reception work, even with Darrell Henderson out. It's never been a backfield to really dump off the ball, except for that one season in 2018 where Todd Gurley, completely tore it up. Either way, this backfield's really never going to target him much. So it's really just between one of these 2 receiving options. I'd probably just go with A.J. Brown right now. I'd go A.J. Brown. They have no Julio. They really have no offense in terms of running the ball. It's just going to be a pass-heavy game for Ryan Tannehill against his former team. So I'd go A.J. Brown there, then Antonio Brown, then Sony Michel in that order. Jimmy, appreciate it. Reven JJ says, big money on the line. We have full PPR, 2 running back spots, 2 wide receiver spots, and a flex spot available. My options are Zeke, Penny, Chubb, Elijah Mitchell. Okay, so let's talk about running backs first and foremost. If we're playing 2 running backs out of the 4, I'm playing Chubb and Penny. Automatically, no problems. As for your wide receivers, when you have Lamb, Antonio Brown, Waddle, and Chase, I am 100% playing Antonio Brown and Waddle. So then the following question becomes, who do I play in the flex position with 1 spot available, and with the 2 best options being Lamb and Elijah Mitchell in a full PPR scoring format? At that point, in a full PPR scoring format, I would play CeeDee Lamb and ride it out with that. So that's my suggestion. We're good to go. Again, to reiterate, just in case you didn't hear it the first time, Chubb, Penny, AB, Waddle, and CeeDee Lamb. Thank you. Darius sends in a question. says, full PPR, 2 running backs. We have Cordero, Burkhead, and Keyshawn Vaughn. Okay, if we're playing 2 out of the 3 respective running backs, I'm playing Cordero Patterson and I'm playing Rex Burkhead. As for your follow-up question, he says flex, Ertz, Ayuk, Devontae Parker. If it's a full PPR and it's the same league, I would play Ertz in the flex position. And then San Francisco defense or Chicago defense, I play Chicago this week. And then it says I have Sony, Debo, Josh Allen, and Murray starting. Wait, is that Josh Allen? No, that's Keenan Allen and Murray starting. Yeah, you're good to go there. I play Cordero, Burkhead, flex Ertz, and run it out there. Let's go. Michael sends in a question. It says full PPR, Deontay or Aaron Jones in a full PPR scoring format? I think I'm still going to go Aaron Jones there. I think there's a very good chance that this Green Bay Packers team puts up 5 touchdowns today. 35 points is pretty... I mean, I think that's a pretty fair number against the Minnesota Vikings defense that they've succeeded against a lot. And I don't think that, Aaron Jones is going to be one of those guys that doesn't score. I think he does. So Deontay Johnson, in order to really keep up with him, he's got to score. And I don't know if he's going to be able to do so. So I think I'd rather just play Aaron Jones there. Yeah, I'm going to play Aaron Jones. C. Moyer says, Noah Fant or Pat Freiermuth in a full PPR. Even with Jerry Jeudy and Tim Patrick being out, the issue with the Denver Broncos is that their quarterback is Drew Lock. If it was Teddy Bridgewater, I'd feel super confident going with Noah Fant in a full PPR. Considering it's not the case, I'm going to play Freiermuth in his stead. So, yeah, Freiermuth, fully confident that he fully practiced this week. He takes on Cleveland, the 6th easiest matchup of the tight end position since week 8. Great play right there. Alif sends in a question, says, Kiork, thanks for the wisdom all season long. You got me to the finals. Pick 3. We have Higgins, Waddle, Metcalf, Michelle. Okay, and then we'll figure out defense after. Okay, great. So in terms of picking 3, I'm sitting Metcalf. I'm playing Michelle. I'm playing Waddle. I'm playing Higgins. Metcalf is going to be in a weather game on top of the fact, again, he's not getting a lot of targets. He's heavily relying on touchdowns. And really, since Russell Wilson returned from the finger injury, there hasn't been as great of a connection. So I would go Higgins, Waddle, Michelle. Thank you. Now for your follow-up question, defense is Green Bay, New Orleans, Seattle, Chicago. Great. Alif brought it up, so we'll go ahead and we'll talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and currently go through my top 12 defenses on the week. Are we ready? Now, this is just regular scoring. There's no bonus points, nothing like that. If we're just talking about regular standard scoring for defenses, this is my top 12 of the week. Here we go. Starting with our number 1, we have Tampa Bay, followed by New England, the New Orleans Saints, Chicago, Buffalo, Dallas, Green Bay, San Francisco, Miami, Philadelphia, Seattle, and Indianapolis. So those are my top 12 defenses, top to bottom. So to answer your question specifically, you have Green Bay, New Orleans, Seattle, Chicago. Chicago's the highest on that list. Then the Green Bay Packers, actually, no, excuse me. The Saints are the highest. They're number 3. Chicago is at number 4. You did mention the Green Bay Packers are at 7. And then Seattle's my number 11. So yeah, for right now, you're playing the New Orleans Saints against Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers. That would be my suggestion on top of course, Higgins, Waddle, and Michelle. Thank you, Alif. Just get it done. Says, half PPR, pick 2. Okay, we need a wide receiver, 2. Keenan Allen or Deontay Johnson. If we're picking a wide receiver out of the 2, I mean, even if it's a full, even if it's a half, I'm very confident. With the wide receivers returning to the Chargers offense, when you get Mike Williams back, when you get Jalen Guyton back, when you get Austin Eckler back, it does open up more possibilities of Justin Herbert looking away from a Keenan Allen-esque wide receiver, which does concern me a little bit. So probably he's going to catch more balls than Deontay Johnson, though. Yeah, in a half PPR scoring format, we'll just play Deontay Johnson. In a full PPR, I throw the conversation in there, but for right now, let's go Deontay Johnson. Flex, Keenan Allen, Deontay Johnson, or Alvin Kamara. Holy moly. I wouldn't worry about Alvin Kamara. He's the automatic play. So, yeah, you then play Kamara at your flex, and you're good to go in a half PPR. Are you worried about Cook now that Cousin is out? Yeah, look, I am worried about Cook. Cook went from being my number 3 overall running back to like number 7 in a half PPR scoring format. They're going to run the ball the entire time. Now, there's a possibility that the Green Bay Packers could stop them, and Cook is pretty much dissolved from the entire game plan and the game script, and that would be unfortunate, but that's the risk we are going to have to take in some regards. So if you don't have anything better, yeah, you just have to play Cook and you're good to go. Now, if you have the option of playing, like Keenan Allen in the flex and Kamara as a starting running back and not play Cook, I think I would still play Cook in that regard, Just. So you're good to go. Thank you. Varun ES says, Burrow or Trey Lance? Right now, I'm just going to roll with Burrow. I think he's a great quarterback. I mean, it's just a matter of, in a 4-point per passing touchdown league, if Trey Lance is running like a monster, if he's going for 90 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown, not a lot of quarterbacks are going to be able to keep up with him. Those kind of numbers are just unheard of, right? You don't often see those numbers posted, especially even from guys like Lamar. So at that point, if Trey Lance, if you guys feel confident in him doing that kind of stuff and just completely going bananas, then by all means, he's probably the better play. But for right now, I would just lean with Burrow, considering, of course, we've seen a wide majority of work this season. And he's played pretty well as of late. Hi Mike says, full PPR, Kirk or Odell Beckham Jr. I'd play Odell Beckham Jr. versus Christian Kirk. Thank you. Logert says, who do I play in the flex position in a full PPR, Chubb or A.J. Brown? Thanks, buddy. Let's win the championship. I prefer Nick Chubb there. I think he's a better play overall. Again, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they are the easiest matchup at the running back position. Even if Kareem Hunt is active, I don't expect him digging into many work at all. So I'd play Nick Chubb there even in a full PPR. Thank you. Okay. Lamar Jackson officially inactive. Didn't really need that report, but we're good to go. Next question. Michael Williams says, I'm up 30 points in both, so need a floor. Okay, so I'm assuming you have a 2-week championship. Congratulations on being up. Let's talk about floor. Pick 3 in a full PPR scoring format. We have Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Deontay Johnson. Great. If we're picking 3 out of that group, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown, Deontay Johnson. Let's not risk it with Justin Jefferson. If you don't have to, why do that? So, yeah, let's play the other 3 wide receivers, Tyreek, AJ, and Deontay. As for your follow-up question, also Hurts or Wilson, I would play Jalen Hurts. Other league, we need 3, AJ, Deontay, AB, and Michelle. In the other league, outright in a full PPR scoring format, I would play, I think I'm playing 3. Do I want to play all 3 wide receivers? I'm for sure playing AB and AJ Brown. So both the Brown guys are good to go. AJ Brown, Antonio Brown, perfect. So it's just a matter of Deontay Johnson versus Sony Michel in a full PPR. I'd probably play Deontay Johnson. So yeah, I'm playing 3 wide receivers in that second league. You're good to go, Michael. Appreciate it. Chad Bourne says, hi, flex, Deontay Johnson or Rashad Penny in a half PPR. In a half PPR, we play Rashad Penny. Thank you. Isaiah Venezuela says, pick 2. We need Eckler, Cook, Najee Harris, or Rojo. All right, great. So in terms of the respective running backs you have, you are stacked. So I'd love to play more than 2 of these guys, but if I had to pick 2, I'm playing Eckler and I'm playing Rojo. That's my suggestion there. Thank you, Isaiah. Eat Powder says, full PPR, pick 2 MVS. So that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Mike Williams, Dalton Schultz, or Devontae Parker. Okay, so from picking 2 out of that group of 4 players, I'm playing Schultz, and I think I'm playing MVS over Parker. I don't know if I want to. In a full PPR scoring format, Parker probably has a little bit more value because, but I think MVS is like touchdown upside crazy. So yeah, I play Schultz and MVS. As for your second question, if we're going Miami defense or Chicago defense, I would go Chicago. And he says, thanks for all the hard work. Thank you very much, Powder. I appreciate that. All right. Next question. Conquer Libra says, scared about Justin Jefferson in a full PPR scoring format, which 3 wide receivers would you start? Lamb, Jefferson, AJ Brown, and Diggs. Okay, so yeah, I think it's pretty simple. I would go ahead and respectively play all 3 other wide receivers that you mentioned other than Justin Jefferson, because I don't think you have to take the risk. There are going to be situations that many of us have, including myself, that I don't have enough depth on my roster to confidently play, a Cole Beasley or a Gabriel Davis over Justin Jefferson. At those kind of points, I would just rather 1,000% play Justin Jefferson because I know there's no Adam Thielen, and really the ball in terms of the passing game can only go one spot, and it's going to go in his direction. But considering you do have great options, like you mentioned, you have CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, and Stephon Diggs. Those are the 3 that I'm playing over Justin Jefferson for sure. Conquer, appreciate it. Marvin Lewis says, standard, start 1, Pitts or Moreau. In a standard scoring format, if I'm playing 1 and I'm just looking off of yards and touchdown potential, I think I'm playing Foster Moreau. I mean, Indianapolis has been awful against tight ends. And I'm sure, especially a team like the Las Vegas Raiders, who use their tight end just about more than anybody in the National Football League in terms of targets, snap counts, etc. I think Foster Moreau is the better play, and that's what I would go in a standard. If Pitts had upside for touchdowns, I'd feel confident about it. But when when Hayden Hurst is over there scoring touchdowns or more touchdowns this season than Pitts, it is a little worrisome. Saucy sends in a question, says Rodgers or Mahomes? I play Rodgers. Again, I talked about it earlier. In the last 4 games, I think he has 17 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. In the last 3 games against Minnesota, he has like 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's been insane against that defense. He's balled out. He's been playing great. MVP numbers, Rodgers over Mahomes today. Thank you. Tyler T says, are we still starting Huntley over Lance, even if Lance has the better matchup? Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. Again, that does not 100% mean that you have to follow, as I say. That's definitely not the case. You guys make your own decisions. But I do feel more confident in Tyler Huntley. If I had the opportunity, if I had both on a singular team, I would legitimately play Tyler Huntley today. That's where I would go. Doesn't mean it's the right answer. I could be completely wrong. Trust me, Rex Burkhead proved me wrong last week, right? So there are a lot of possibilities in which I could be completely off on this point, and I'm being blinded by, something else, and I can't stop it. But for right now, yes, I am playing Huntley over Lance. M. Kicks says, good morning, Andrew. For the chip, we need a running back, wide receiver, and a flex in a full PPR scoring format. Our available options are Sony Michel, Chase Edmonds, Jarrett Patterson, and wide receivers we have Chase and Amon-Ra St. Brown. All right, cool. So at running back, I am playing Sony Michel. Great, perfect. At wide receiver, I'm playing Jamar Chase. As for your flex position, if it's between Chase Edmonds and Amon-Ra St. Brown, I see it as only one way of going about this. It's either Amon-Ra St. Brown, purely outright, but actually, no, it's not one way. So let me just check something real quick. So if in fact we get if information comes down the line that James Conner is not going to play today, then you would play Chase Edmonds in your flex. Otherwise, it is Amon-Ra St. Brown. So yeah, the only way I would ever play anybody but Amon-Ra St. Brown is if Conner is out and Chase Edmonds gets a little bit of a boost. Otherwise, yeah, Amon-Ra at the flex. Thank you, M-Kicks. Ashton Gatlin says, I'm in the championship super flex with Henderson on the injured reserve. I only have Kamara. I need Gaskin, P. Ryan, Barber, Duke Johnson, or Justin Jackson. Holy moly. I'm not playing Gaskin. In no way, shape, or form am I playing Gaskin. I'm not playing P. Ryan. Not interested. First and foremost, Gaskin is third string behind Duke Johnson as the first stringer and Phillip Lindsay as the second stringer. P. Ryan, of course, is not going to play because Joe Mixon's good to go. So those two options immediately removed. Then it's a question of Barber, Duke Johnson, and Justin Jackson. The only reason Barber scored last week is because of how easy the matchup was for the Las Vegas Raiders and how easily they were able to run the ball. So he's not going to fall into the end zone. He's not going to get as much work. Peyton Barber, no thank you. So those three are gone. So now it's just a conversation between Duke Johnson, the starting running back of the Miami Dolphins against the Tennessee defense, not an easy matchup, versus Justin Jackson. If I'm playing one of the two, I am playing Duke Johnson. I think Austin Eckler is going to dominate the work in this game. And sure, there's a possibility that Justin Jackson could get in the game, steal a touchdown, but I think Duke Johnson, of all the receiving options or running options that you have, will get the most opportunity, the most touches, and be in the best position to succeed. So I'm going Duke Johnson there. Lee sends in a question, says, pick 2 in a full PPR scoring format. We have Jarrett Patterson, Derek Gumbawale, Rex Burkhead, Boston Scott, and Devonta Freeman. If I'm picking 2 out of this group, I'm playing Boston Scott and I'm playing Jarrett Patterson in a full PPR. Thank you very much, Lee. Dante Turner says championship week full PPR. For my flex spot, I have Kareem Hunt, we have Rex Burkhead, Jarrett Patterson, and Boston Scott. If I'm playing one out of the group, I'm playing Boston Scott there. Thank you. Joshua says Michelle, Rojo, Damian Harris, Swift. Pick 2 in a full PPR. Rojo for sure, Damian Harris second. Those are my 2 suggestions, Joshua. Appreciate it. Rojo, Damian Harris. Super PS Productions says, I'm in the first ever championship game. Congratulations for making it there. I need some help. At the tight end position, do I go Kyle Pitts or Tyler Higbee? I'd go Kyle Pitts in that position. For my flex position, I need to pick one between Devonta Foreman, Damian Harris, Chase Edmonds, and Jared Patterson. Okay, great. Kyle Pitts at tight end, Damian Harris, your flex position, good to go. Congratulations. Let's bring home the chip. Mark Hill says, Evans, Scantling, Devonta Parker, or Zay Jones. I need one wide receiver out of the group. If we're picking one wide receiver, we're going Marquez Valdez-Scantling. If I was to give you an order of the wide receivers and where I would play them, I'd go Scantling, Parker, Evans, Jones. Thank you very much. Sam Martinez says Penny, Renfro, Javonte Williams, or DK Metcalf in the flex in a full PPR scoring format. I'm playing Rashad Penny there. Thank you. As for your follow-up question, Sam, Dolphins or Eagles defense? I do have the Eagles defense higher in my overall rankings, taking on the Washington football team. And in your follow-up, last question says, Prater, Elliott, or Bullock at the kicker position. I would go Jake Elliott. So I'd pretty much go kicker and defense for the Eagles. Good to go there. And again, Rashad Penny at running back in the flex position. Thank you very much. Alrighty, let's see here. Alva sends in a question. I'm trying to catch up, guys. I mean, if you send in a question, you don't hear a response immediately. Again, I'm trying my best. Alva Bennett. Let's see here, Alva Bennett. Anything in the chat? I don't see anything in the chat, mainly because you probably said this in a while back. Alva, if you can do me a favor, send me a question in the regular chat. Just type it out as to what you wanted to ask, and I'm here to help. The next person to send in the question was the Truth 718. Truth says, pick one. RB full PPR, Barkley, Patterson, Howard, Scott, Burkhead, Ogunbowale. If I'm playing one out of that group, I'm playing Cordero Patterson. Yeah, I'd play Cordero there. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Anakin Skywalker sends in a question. Says, PPR sit one. AB, Jamar Chase, AJ Brown, Stephon Diggs. I would sit Jamar Chase. Thank you. Did Alva send in a question? Alva? No? Nothing yet? Okay. Minor Dominguez says, half PPR. I have Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown, and Waddle. All the weather talk has me worried. Should I bench and replace with Darrell Williams? Talking about replacing Justin Jefferson with Darrell Williams, I would. I'd feel comfortable doing that. So if you're comfortable doing that, then by all means, you go for it. The weather talk isn't really my concern. It's more the quarterback position. So in that regard, yes, I would rather play Darrell Williams over Justin Jefferson. Thank you. Devontae Henderson says, Mixon, Chubb, Penny, Harris, Sony, pick three. If we're picking three out of this group, Chubb is automatic, Mixon's next, Penny's third. Those are the three I'm playing. Thank you. Alejandro Thomas says, Superflex pick Huntley, Michelle, or Deontay Johnson. I'd play Huntley for sure. If any time I'm given the opportunity to play a running back or a quarterback, I'm playing that quarterback probably 9 times, 10 times out of 10, unless we're talking about a lesser quarterback. If you had the opportunity of going like Michelle, Deontay Johnson, or Matt Ryan, at that point I would go with the other options instead of the quarterback. So yeah. Alrighty, so let me check something. Pretty sure we're not caught up, but like we're on a pretty good pace here. Let me just make sure I didn't skip anybody's questions. Again, if I haven't answered your question yet, it's probably because I haven't gotten there. Because I'm looking through the entire list. I've answered everything that's been sent in as of thus far. So I just finished Mr. Devonta Henderson, and now we're going to move to, we did Alejandro there. Awesome. So now we will go to the next question that was sent in. Where the heck did it go? And now I've lost it. Okay, that's not it. Wow. Okay, so I got a lot of questions to get through. So again, if you've sent in a question and you don't have an answer yet, it's coming. Patience. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm going to try to go through these as quickly as I can. Here we go. Chris Moraga says, PPR pick 2, Boston Scott, Hollywood Brown, Jared Patterson, Barkley, Davis, Burkhead. Thanks for all the help this season. No problem. If we're picking 2 out of the group, in a full PPR scoring format, I'm playing Hollywood Brown, and I'm playing Saquon Barkley. Thank you, Chris. John says Pats defense or Cowboys defense. Okay. I have the Patriots defense as my number 2 on the week. So I would play the Patriots defense. Dallas is unbelievably good, but I think Patriots versus Jacksonville is just automatic success. So we don't even have to worry about it. Adam Floyd says full PPR pick 1. We have Agumbawale, Scott, or Patterson. I'm playing Scott there. Pick 1 for the flex. We have Claypool, Lazard, and one of the other running backs from the group. In that regard, I would play Jarrett Patterson at the flex. So I'd go Scott and Patterson. Thank you. C. Bangier says, for the chip, current 2 QB league in a full PPR lineup, what would you change? We have Matthew Stafford and Lance at quarterback / super flex. Great. Cook and Michelle at running backs. Diggs and A.J. Brown at wide receivers. Kittle at tight end. Lamb at the flex position. We have Taysom Hill, Singletary, and Metcalf on the bench. Would I change anything? I would probably play Taysom Hill over Lance. But if you want to play Lance, by all means, you're good to go there. They're pretty much back-to-back in my rankings. Outside of that, I wouldn't change anything. I would play Lamb over Singletary and Metcalf in the flex. You're good to go there, Andrew. Thank you. Alva Bennett. Oh, there's the question. Okay, cool. Alva says full PPR, pick 2. Renfro, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penny. Can't decide. Thank you. I would play Amon-Ra St. Brown and Rashad Penny. Those are the 2 that I'm playing in that regard. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Matthew Thompson says, Michael Carter or Devonta Smith if Hollywood sits? Michael Carter or Devonta? Oh, Devonta Freeman. Got it. I thought it was Devonta Smith. I don't think Hollywood's going to sit. So my anticipation is that you... okay. So if we're just playing one of the 2 straight up anyway, I don't think that Hollywood really plays a difference in terms of this. If we're playing one of the 2, I'm playing Michael Carter. I'm not playing Devonta Freeman. I like Devonta Freeman, but I think Michael Carter is probably the better play. So I would just suggest that regardless of whether or not Hollywood sits. Thank you. Anthony C. says, need 2 for the flex position. PPR, Chase Edmonds, Rashad Penny, Gallup, Hollywood, KJ Osborne. Thank you. Yeah, if I'm playing 2 out of this group, I'm playing Chase Edmonds and I'm playing Rashad Penny. Thank you, Anthony. Benny J, says standard flex, Carter, Scott, Patterson. I'm playing Scott. Thank you. Dylan says, what do you think? Lance over Murray? Listen, risk versus reward. Where does it end? That's the question. If you want to risk it, by all means, go for it. But I'm playing Murray there. I have Debo and Mitchell. Would you rather a wide receiver 3 Deontay Harris for the Saints or Marvin Jones? Wow. Okay. So both those questions are interesting. So the second question, if I'm going Harris or Jones Jr., Marvin Jones, I'd rather just play Marvin Jones. As for your first question, again, if you have Debo Samuel and Elijah Mitchell, I could see an argument of just playing Lance just to confirm that you get every touchdown in that offense. Because if this team gets down to the red zone and you have the option of, they have the option of running with Debo, running with Mitchell, or running with Lance, one of the 3 are going to score on every drive, right? So if you assume that this team's going to go for 4 or 5 touchdowns in this game, then in order to cover all your bases, you probably just play Lance. Otherwise, in a vacuum, if it's Murray or Lance, I'd play Murray. Thank you. Jan says, full PPR, pick 2. Alvin Kamara, Javonte Williams, Elijah Mitchell. If I'm picking 2, I'm playing Alvin Kamara and Mitchell. Thank you. Frank O'Malley says, Melvin Gordon, A.J. Dillon, Saquon Barkley, full PPR. In a full PPR scoring format, it's either A.J. Dillon or Melvin Gordon. Probably Melvin Gordon there. I think A.J. Dillon's great, but do I play A.J. Dillon in a full PPR over him? I'm kind of thinking maybe that's the case. I'm beginning to convince myself at least. Yeah, let's go A.J. Dillon. Let's go A.J. Dillon over Melvin Gordon and Barkley in full PPR. Thank you. Henry Odom says championship, full PPR, pick 2. Start a wide receiver / flex. My choices are St. Brown, Carter, Cooks, Devonta Smith, Mike Evans, Sony Michel. All right, so we need a pick 2 for a wide receiver and a flex. The wide receiver, is this full PPR? Yeah. Okay, so at that point, I'm probably going Brandon Cooks and St. Brown. Yeah, those are my 2 suggestions. I go St. Brown and Brandon Cooks. Thank you. Bully Season 11 says half PPR. Pick 2 running backs between Michelle, Montgomery, Penny, Darrell Williams. Okay. So if we're picking 2 running backs in a flex, and then we have a Monroe Saber on there. In a half PPR scoring format, Penny, Montgomery, and probably playing Michelle. Penny, Montgomery, Michelle in a half PPR. Those are my 3 suggestions. As for the quarterback position, Dak or Stafford? I have Lance, but no thanks. Yeah, so if I'm going with one of those 2 quarterbacks, I'm playing Stafford. You play Dak. I think he's pretty close to my rankings. They're 6 and 7 back to back, but I would go with Stafford. So I go Stafford, Montgomery, Michelle, Penny. Thank you. Jesse M says Goddard or Schultz full PPR. Goddard. Follow-up starts Edmonds at the 4 p.m. game, hoping that Connor sits, or play Saquon, Boston Scott. No, I would still play Chase Edmonds over Scott and Saquon, regardless of whether or not James Conner sits, because I think James Conner is going to be limited to a capacity. So that means that most likely Chase Edmonds dominates in the receiving game. And based on what we saw last week, 9 targets, 8 catches, could be another great game in a full PPR. So I would still play Chase Edmonds there, Jesse. As for your follow-up question, Miami defense or Green Bay, I would play Green Bay. Ashton Gatlin says Superflex, Dalton or Lawrence? I would play Andy Dalton over Trevor Lawrence. Thank you. Dilo says, why Mike Williams not ranked? Him or AJ Green? I do prefer AJ Green. The reason why I don't have Mike Williams ranked is because, I don't know when the last time he was actually like top tier. Dilo, listen, last week you asked about Rex Burkhead. I told you no. Follow your gut. Trust me, just follow your gut. Right now I'd say AJ Green, but follow your gut. That's what I tell you as well. Because that is, you got a gut on you that's going in the right direction, to say the least. Teddy H says flex Edmonds, Cooks, Singletary. If we're playing one, if Connor's out, but we don't know that Connor's out. So if Connor was out, I would play Edmonds blindly. But considering he's not, I think your best overall play at that point is just go with Singletary there. And just enroll with it. Sam Penny says, let's see here. Sam Penny. Okay, so there's another question. I'll get to your second question because the first one didn't have a message attached to it. Dilo says, also Cole Beasley not ranked. Boyd over him? Yes, I would play Boyd over Cole Beasley. The only worry I have with Cole Beasley is the fact that Isaiah McKenzie obviously deserves more snaps. Gabriel Davis back in the lineup. Of course, Emmanuel Sanders still there. Dawson Knox taking targets. So is Devin Singletary. A lot of mouths to feed in that offense. So I'm not 100% convinced on Beasley. So, yeah, I would play Boyd over him. Jordan M says, championship, pick one. Devonta Parker, Gabe Davis, or Jordan Howard in a full PPR. If I'm picking one in a full PPR, I go Devonta Parker. Thank you. Saucy says, Rodgers or Mahomes, please. Saucy, I had answered you earlier, but I'll answer you again. Rodgers over Mahomes. Thank you. Again, guys, just to reiterate, on screen, like we always do, is my updated ranking. So if you're wondering, which quarterback should I start in a 4-point per passing touchdown format, it is on screen. I'd go Allen, Aaron Rodgers, just like it says right up there. Mahomes, Herbert, Hurts, Stafford, Prescott, etc., etc. So the rankings are there for those of you interested in that kind of a question. Flex questions, different. Steven sends in a question. Says, standard scoring format. Pittman, Antonio Brown, Brandon Cooks. Pick two. In a standard format, I don't even think standard matters. I'm playing Antonio Brown and Brandon Cooks. Also, defense, pick one. Bears, Eagles, or Cowboys. At that point, I'm probably just playing the Bears defense. They play against the Giants. The Giants in the last 2 games have given up 16 fantasy points to each opposing defense. So I'd go Bears. Kelly Sullivan says, full PPR. Need 2. We need a running. Okay, so we need 2 running backs. Cook, Kamara, Mixon, and Rojo. Those are our potential options here. Which makes it difficult because in a full PPR scoring format, oh man, let me go check my full PPR. All right, so full PPR running backs. So I currently have it full PPR. Starts Eckler, Taylor, Chubb, Mixon, Kamara, Rojo, Montgomery, Cook. So technically, I'm playing Mixon and Kamara, and that's what I'm rolling with in a full PPR scoring format. Thank you very much, Kelly. J-Rod says, I want your lineup with my players. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 flex. Full PPR scoring format. Okay. So of the available players that you have, J-Rod, I would play it as such. Chubb and Rojo at running back, good to go. Tyreek Hill and Deebo Samuel at wide receiver, good to go. Tight end, who are your options? Dawson Knox or Kyle Pitts? I'd play Dawson Knox. And then for the flex position, if it's between Jacobs and CeeDee Lamb in a full PPR, I would play CeeDee Lamb. So again, Chubb, Rojo, Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, CeeDee Lamb in the flex, Dawson Knox at tight end. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Jawan sends in a question. Says, GM, pick 2. Devonta Smith, St. Brown, Chase Edmonds. I'd play St. Brown and Chase Edmonds. Thank you. Dante Turner says, Bateman or Braxton Berrios. If somehow in the next hour, Hollywood Brown is not playing, I'd play Bateman. But if he is playing, I'd play Braxton Berrios then, in that case. Joe B says, wide receiver, Lockett, Metcalf, MVS, Parker, Osborne, Kendrick Bourne, Sanders. Okay, so if we're picking a wide receiver out of that group, I do prefer Lockett over the bunch. As for three running backs between the bunch here, if we're picking 3 running backs, Kamara, Pollard, Connor, or Gumbawale in a full PPR scoring format, whatever is left, need one for the flex. Okay, so so at running back, Kamara, Connor, Ogunbowale, those are the 3 that I'd roll with, assuming Connor plays. If Connor doesn't play, you play Pollard in his stead. And then in terms of picking a flex option, Metcalf and Lockett are the best 2 receivers you have. So if you can't play either of them, or you can only play one of them, considering you put just one wide receiver, I play Lockett and I just play Metcalf in the flex. Thank you. SoFlo sends it a question, says, would you play any of these players over Zeke or Darrell Williams, Javonte Williams, Gabe Davis, Beasley, Van Jefferson, Christian Kirk, or Knox in a standard format? In a standard format, would I play any of those guys over those respective... It's really just Javonte Williams, but I wouldn't do that. So, no. I'd play Zeke and Darrell Williams. You're good to go. Jabari Sterling says, Miami defense or Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay is currently my number 1 defense on the week, so I'd play Tampa Bay. Flex, Carter, Stevenson, or Patterson. If that's Ramondre, I'd probably, out of the group, I'd play Jarrett Patterson. Thank you. Islam over everything says, half PPR, start 2 wide receivers, Pittman, Hollywood Brown, Devonta Parker. If we're picking 2 wide receivers out of the group, it's Pittman and Hollywood. As for Melvin Gordon versus Chase Edmonds, I'd play Chase Edmonds. Thank you. PyroHype323 says Stafford or Adams. Stafford and Adams starting. I need to start a second wide receiver in a flex. Quarterback is an option for the flex. Okay, great. So it's super flex league. Options are AJ Brown, Antonio Brown, Huntley, and Lance. All right, so you got yourself a very interesting scenario here. The second wide receiver I would play is AJ Brown, PyroHype, and I would play Huntley in your super flex. Good to go. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. TC says, half PPR, 1 flex, either Patterson or DK Metcalf. I play DK Metcalf. Thank you. Jordan M says, championship, Gabe Davis, Devontae Parker, or Jordan Howard. In a full PPR scoring format, I would go with Devontae Parker. Thank you. True Gentleman for You says, I'm starting Kyler Murray, Cooper Kupp, AB, Eckler, Kamara, Kittle. Full PPR. I need a flex. Deontay, Javonte, or Knox. My opponent has Allen and Diggs. So in terms of who you're playing in the flex, I would play Deontay Johnson. As for your defense, Kansas City or Indy, I would play Indy's defense. So again, Deontay and Indy. Thank you. Tyler sends in a question. Says full PPR, Swift or Edmonds if Connor is out. If Connor is out, but look, here's the thing. Do we have the ability to wait for that? And no, for sure, because I know they have an afternoon game. Let me see here. Do they play at the same time? That's the question. So yeah, it's all afternoon games. So technically, wait, is it afternoon games? No. Let me confirm here. Swift? No. Yeah, it's Swift or Edmonds. Okay, cool. So if we're in a scenario where Connor is for sure out, I would play Edmonds over Swift in a full PPR. Confidently. So yeah, that's my suggestion. If Connor is out this afternoon, Tyler, I'd play Edmonds over Swift. If not, you play Swift over Edmonds. Thank you. Walter Gregg says half PPR, DeAndre Swift or T. Higgins? If I'm playing 1.5 PPR, I'm probably going T. Higgins. I had 10 teams playing for 5 chips. Your Sunday power rankings are impeccable. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I wish they were impeccable. I wish they were perfect, but the variables that you just really can't take into account with fantasy football, they really do catch up eventually. All right. Hunar Dahar says, AB or St. Brown? I'd play AB. Patterson or Javonte? I play Javonte, excuse me. So Javonte and AB, Hunar. That's who I would go. Mohammed Nassan says, standard league, pick one, wide receiver in a flex. T. Higgins, AB, Waddle, Michelle, Zeke. In a standard scoring format, in the flex position, ooh, wow. Okay, the one wide receiver that I would play in a standard scoring format is probably AB. And then in the flex, I'm playing Michelle. Thank you. Shadi Ibrahim says, is Kareem Hunt worth playing in the flex? I don't think so. I really don't. I'd love to play him if he was fully healthy, but I don't know what to expect from him. So that kind of leaves me in a position where I just don't really want to play him at all. Okay, so let's see here. All right, Lee sends in a question. Lee Mariotti says, pick two, need a flex and a running back two, okay. Rex Burkhead, Devonta Freeman, MVS, Jeff Wilson, Boston Scott, Derek Gumbawale, Jared Patterson. Okay, so if we need a flex and a running back two, the flex is Boston Scott and the running back two is Jared Patterson. Thank you. Heat 131 says, would you play Pitts over Moreau? PPR. I think they will try to get Pitts that record. They got another week to do so. The issue is, for as much as the Falcons want to get him that record, I think the Bills want to make sure that he doesn't achieve that record. I would play I would play Moreau over Pitts. That is my suggestion. And that's what I'm thinking. Just based on matchup purely. Kevin McKinley says, St. Brown, OBJ, Javonte Williams in the flex full PPR. I'd go St. Brown. Jamie Luce says, full PPR, Rashad Penny, Deontay Johnson in the flex. I play Rashad Penny. Thank you. Sam Penny says, 20-team league, full PPR. I need one. Gore, Jackson, Howard, Ogunbowale. In a full PPR, if we're needing one, I'm probably going Jordan Howard. Thanks for all the help this year. I hope to bring the chip home today. So do I, Sam. Let's get it. All right, let's see here. Jordan M says, full PPR, Pittman or Devontae Parker? I would play Michael Pittman Jr. Flo3Li says, standard league, I need two wide receivers, two running backs, one flex. We have Zeke, Mitchell, Michelle, Boston Scott, AB, Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, T. Higgins. Holy moly. Okay, two running backs out of the group. Michelle and Mitchell, automatic. Two wide receivers out of this group, Devontae Adams and Antonio Brown. In terms of your flex, I'm going to play Zeke. So Adams, AB, Zeke, Mitchell, Michelle. Thank you. Fear God says, Deontay Johnson, Michael Pittman Jr., Gabriel Davis, Marquise Brown, Devonta Parker, Rashad Bateman. Pick two. I played Deontay Johnson and Michael Pittman Jr. there. Fear God. Appreciate it. Trevor Bollinger says, half PPR, 6-point per passing touchdown league, Wentz or Huntley? I would play Huntley still. Also, for the flex position, pick one. MVS, Michael Carter, Foreman, Freeman, Gallup. Thank you. Championship, good luck out there. Yes, thank you, and good luck to everyone as well out there. It should be a very interesting Sunday morning / Sunday championship game. In terms of answering your question, for flexing one of these respective players in a half PPR scoring format, I'm playing am I playing Marquez Valdes-Scantling over the bunch? Probably want to. In a half PPR 6. So yeah, we go Huntley there. Damn. Do I want to play one of these running backs? If one of these running backs score, and it makes it tough. But for right now, I think I'd rather play Marquez Valdes-Scantling over the bunch. Thank you, Trevor. Kobe Sports Card says, start one in a full PPR scoring format at the flex position. Swift, Darrell Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. If I'm playing one out of the group, it's probably Darrell Williams. Yeah, I go Darrell there. Thank you. CJ Goodwin says, starting Dak in a 6-point per passing touchdown format, full PPR. I got AJ Brown in my wide receiver 1, and I need a wide receiver 2 between AB, Waddle, and CeeDee Lamb. If AB is active, I'm playing him. If he's not, I'd go Waddle. Thank you. Brett Lee says, Kyler or Joe Burrow? I'd go Joe Burrow right now. At this moment, I would. Thank you. Drunken Hamster says, RB2 in a flex and a tight end for a full PPR scoring format. The options are Sony, Javonte, Darrell Williams, Saquon. I'd play Darrell Williams over the bunch. As for wide receiver, St. Brown or Kirk, I'd play St. Brown. Tight end, Henry or Everett. In a full PPR scoring format, I want to play Everett, so I will. In a full PPR, I play Everett. In a half standard, I play Henry. But yeah, for right now, I go Everett there. And you're good to go. Thank you. Kelly Sullivan says, in the championship, 12-team league superflex, need a full PPR, second RB, and a flex. Huntley, Cook, Kamara, Mixon, Rojo. Thanks. What? Need 2 running backs and a flex. So if it's between, wow, that's just, I mean, you're making it really difficult, huh? So if we're playing 2 running backs in a full PPR, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going Mixon and Kamara over Cook and Rojo. Now, if I'm playing Huntley over Cook and Rojo in the super flex, I don't think I am, actually. At that point, I think I'm just playing Rojo in the flex. Huntley has way more upside, but I think I'm playing Rojo just to be safe. So yeah, I'm going Kamara, Mixon, Rojo. Thank you, Kelly. Jacob sends in a question. Full PPR, Keenan Allen, Elijah Mitchell, Rojo. I played Rojo there. Thank you very much, Jacob. Devin says half PPR, Higgins, Swift, Cooks for the flex. Thanks again. Higgins, Swift, or Cooks in a half PPR. I'd go Higgins. Thank you. Max Pyred says PPR, pick 2 flexes. We have Swift, Brandon Cooks, Elijah Mitchell, Renfro, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. If we're picking 2 out of the group of players that are mentioned, it's Elijah Mitchell and it's probably DeAndre Swift. Thank you. Anthony says full PPR, Hunter Henry or Moreau for the Raiders. In a full PPR, I'm probably going, I'd just play Henry there at that point. Do I want to play Henry over him? Because Everett's a different conversation. I think Everett just, you know what? I'd also play Foster Moreau. I'd also play Moreau over Henry in a full PPR. So yeah, I go Moreau there for the Raiders. As for your flex, Ayuk, Donta Foreman, Boston Scott, Jarrett Patterson in a full PPR scoring format. I think Boston Scott's the safest option, but I think I'm going to go with Ayuk there. Thank you. Adam sends in a question, says Carter, Dillon, Mike Williams, Boston Scott, PPR, flex. I play A.J. Dillon. Thank you. Link O says Tyreek Hill or Amon-Ra St. Brown, half PPR. I'd play Tyreek Hill. Hill's exhaustion almost finished me last week. 1 week of rest guarantees nothing. I'd play Tyreek Hill. That's basically it. That's what I would suggest. So if you want to play Amon-Ra, by all means, you go for it. Asaf says, full PPR championship game, Justin Jefferson or Amari Cooper? I currently have Justin Jefferson higher in a full PPR. If you want to play Amari Cooper, you can. If you're worried about it, I think that's a great replacement option. But for right now, I'm good with Justin Jefferson. Headfan says, really enjoyed the channel this year. Thanks. Just need some advice in confirmation bias. Need 2 running backs, one flex, and a non-PPR scoring format. Rojo, Swift, Michelle, Lamb, Metcalf. Rojo, in a non-PPR scoring format, I would go Rojo, Michelle, and Swift, and I'd play all 3 running backs this week. Thank you. Isaac Maximoff says, Eagles or Rams defense? I'd go Eagles defense. I don't even have the Rams in my top 12. That's why I think Huntley's going to play well. Emil Phillip says, Pitts or Moreau in a full PPR? I play Moreau. Darrell Williams or Penny? I'd play Penny. Thank you very much, Emil. Aaron Miles Shirley says, hey, Andrew. I need help picking 2 wide receivers in a flex in a full PPR scoring format. My options are Antonio Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Darrell Williams, and Devin Singletary. All right, so if we're playing 2 wide receivers out of this group, it is Antonio Brown and Lamb. If we're playing Amon-Ra or Darrell Williams, it is Darrell Williams. So AB, Lamb, Darrell Williams. Thank you. Dom sends in a question, says, could use a little upside in the PPR format in the flex position. Darrell Williams or DK Metcalf? Darrell Williams. Thank you. Northwest says, pick flex, Carter, Patterson, Smith, Van Jefferson, DJ Moore. So if I'm playing 1, I'd play DJ Moore. As for your next question, starting wide receivers, Deontay Johnson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, starting running back. Okay, yeah, that's not a question. It's just telling me where you have everything balanced. I'd play DJ Moore in the flex there, Northwest. Appreciate it. Chris S. says, full PPR. Devonta Smith or Rashad Penny? 1,000% Rashad Penny. Isaiah Venezuela says, pick 1 in the flex, Justin Jefferson, Cook, Najee, or St. Brown. I'd play Dalvin Cook in the flex. Thank you. The next best option there would be Najee Harris. Mohamed Nassan says, standard league, I need 1 wide receiver and 1 flex. T. Higgins, Antonio Brown, Waddle, Michelle, Zeke. I think we answered this a little bit earlier, but either way. If I'm playing 1 wide receiver and 1 flex in a standard scoring format, playing AB at wide receiver, and I'm playing Michelle at running back. Thank you. Or Michelle at the flex. Okay, again, Just want to remind you guys, it is 9:10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. There's 900 of you in here. You may be asking questions. Andrew, who do I play in XYZ league? This wide receiver, this wide receiver, this wide receiver. Again, my updated rankings are on screen. I'm currently answering questions via donations. So hopefully the rankings that are on screen will help you make your overall decision. Otherwise, you can scrape back through my videos throughout the week, or potentially wait and somebody will ask a question that is probably very similar to your league. We've heard a lot of questions that are quite similar, a lot of the same players, mainly because those same players have gotten us to this position of being in the championship game. So hopefully that'll help you regardless. I do appreciate it. If you guys haven't yet already, click the like button down below. It does help me out a lot. Also, if you guys haven't checked them out already, Underdog Fantasy. If you use promo code Andrew today, Underdog Fantasy is willing to match up to $100 of your first deposit. I'm telling you, whether it is best ball leagues, pick'ems, drafts for a typical Sunday game, there is so much to play on Underdog Fantasy. So for those of you who want to keep playing fantasy even after this week, or potentially even this week, check them out. Use promo code Andrew today. There's a link down in the description of the video for those of you interested. So go ahead and check it down there. Thank you. All right. So Alvaro, let's see here. Alvaro, did you have a question? Yeah, Alvaro, if you can do me a favor and send a question to just type it in the chat, because whenever you sent this in was a while back and there wasn't a message attached. And same thing with Yo Mama. Both you guys, if you can, please just send it to the chat so we can figure this out. While I'm waiting for you to send that in, just typing it into the chat, I'm going to reiterate what my top 12 defenses are for the week. So let's go ahead and do that. Top to bottom, top 12 defenses for those of you wondering. Tampa Bay at number 1, New England Patriots at 2, New Orleans Saints at 3, Chicago Bears at 4, Buffalo Bills at 5, Dallas Cowboys 6, Green Bay Packers 7, San Francisco 49ers 8, Miami Dolphins 9, Philadelphia Eagles 10, Seattle Seahawks 11, Indianapolis Colts 12. Thank you. Now, where is Alvaro or Yamama? Nothing? Neither of them sent anything. All right. Well, we'll come back later, but for right now, we got to continue to scrape through here. Moving on to Ryan Kilpatrick. Sends in a question. Says 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers in a flex position we have here. We have Diggs, AB, AJ Brown, Najee Harris, Penny Mitchell, and Aaron Jones. Wow, you got a stacked team, my man. Overall, if we're playing 2 running backs, I am playing Penny and I'm playing Najee Harris. As for the flex position, I am playing Aaron Jones. So where does that leave us at wide receiver? I'm playing Antonio Brown and AJ. Well, actually, do I play Diggs? Or no, sorry, it wouldn't be Diggs. It would be Antonio Brown versus Aaron Jones. Okay, so Diggs and AJ Brown started wide receiver. Harris and Penny started running back. It's between Antonio Brown or Aaron Jones at the flex position. It's a half PPR scoring format. Yeah, I play Aaron Jones then. Thank you. Danny Show says half PPR. Pick 1. Gabriel Davis, Devonta Smith, Cordero Patterson. Thank you. I feel like they're going to be a little bit more creative with Cordero Patterson this week. So I want to go Cordero there in a half PPR. That'll be my suggestion. The next best option would be Devonta Smith, though. Rec Mods says Gabriel Davis or DJ Moore with Sanders out today. Wow, Sanders is out. Ooh, that helps actually a lot. I still play DJ Moore, though. Thank you. Appreciate it. Heat131 says, St. Brown or Jefferson? I play Jefferson in PPR. Thank you. Everything you do is a balloon. 1 says, I mean, what a name, huh? A couple not optimal flex positions. We have Dylan or Carter. I play Dylan over Carter. Ayuk or Sutton. I'd play Ayuk over Sutton. I'm not interested in the quote unquote extra targets that Sutton may see. He hasn't done anything all year, so I don't trust it. My first championship ever. Thank you. No problem. Good luck. Nate Cauldron says, or Caldine, excuse me. Full PPR, pick 1 for the flex. Gronk or Sony Michel? I would play Sony Michel. Jonathan Taylor and Penny are my running backs, and Mark Andrews is my tight end. Yeah, you're good to go. I play Michel there. Billington Bosman says, Ertz or Goddard PPR? Also, Packers or Bears? So I have Bears higher, and I have Goddard higher. That's where I would go. Thank you. Spencer says, start 2, A.J. Brown, Deontay Johnson, C.D. Lamb. I would play A.J. Brown and Deontay Johnson. David Fast says, thanks for helping me get to the championship. With the draft, what does it say? With your draft documentation and weekly breakdowns. Thank you very much, David. Glad I could help you get there. Appreciate it. Dom sends in a question. Says, I'm in a league which counts special teams yards and touchdowns for offensive yards. Braxton Berrios is an automatic start. I don't even have to look at your question. I know Braxton Berrios is the answer. Braxton Berrios in 3 out of the last 4 weeks has had over 130 return yards just off of kick returns. I've looked at the overall potential touchbacks from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are one of the better teams in touchbacks, but it's still not a high enough percent chance for me to stray away from Berrios. So my suggestion outright from return yardage point, Dom, is to play Berrios 100%. So that's where I would go. All right, scrolling back up, trying my very best to catch up. I know it's 9:15, but listen, it's one of me and a lot of you, so I'm doing my best. Trust me. All right, Matt Doolin says flex full PPR, AJ Brown or Ronald Jones. I'd play Ronald Jones. Thank you very much, Matt. Tim James says, just a thank you for all the videos all season. If I lose this, I quit. LOL. Josh Allen, Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb, Rojo, Diggs, Waddle, benching Damian and Higgins. Yeah, no, I would do the same. You're in a perfect position, and if you lose this, which you won't, because obviously you got a monster team, I will be surprised. Congratulations. Vic84 says, in the chip, because if you full PPR, start one running back, one flex. We have Mitchell, Patterson, Justin Jackson, McLaurin, Osborne. If I'm playing 2 out of those respective players, I'm playing Elijah Mitchell, and I am playing probably Jarrett Patterson. Saints or Patriots defense, I would play Patriots. Stafford or Hurts, I would play Hurts. Okay, so once again, Vic, just to reiterate, Mitchell, Patterson, Patriots, Hurts. Thank you very much. Good luck. Snorlax says, hi, Andrew. Defense setting, heavy league. Interceptions are 2 points. Sacks are 1 point. Tackle for loss are 0.5 points. Defensive starts with 25 points. Wow. Okay. I have Dallas, Chicago, and the Saints. Thank you for your help. I'd play the Saints there. If we're talking about racking up sacks, interceptions, tackles for loss, Saints have one of the best run-stopping defenses. A lot of tackles for loss. They're going to get after Sam Darnold. They got they got a good pass rushing defensive line, of course, with Jordan and Davenport. Interceptions, they'll cause those. I go with the Saints today. Snorlax, appreciate it. Futuristic Old School says, I pick one flex for a half PPR, Jamar Chase, Swift, or Jefferson. In a half PPR scoring format, I probably want to play Swift. Yeah, I'm going to play Swift there. I play Swift over the bunch. Thank you. Javier Hernandez says, half PPR. Do you trust Dalvin coming off of the COVID IR list? Yeah. I mean, look, here's the thing. I don't know how a player feels. I don't know if he was asymptomatic. These are things that really I don't concern myself with, because that is private information that is for them to know and for me to, to find out, I guess, right? And considering I have no, knowledge on the matter, I do trust him, because purely he's a great running back. They always succeed in terms of running the ball against his team, and regardless of the quarterback position, they will be running today, and I'm sure they'll find success. Also, Jarrett Patterson or Darrell Williams, 1,000% Darrell Williams. Dallas versus Arizona or Buffalo versus Atlanta. I do have Buffalo versus Atlanta higher than Dallas versus Arizona. Thank you. Fernie B. Rex says, championship time, good luck to everyone. Half PPR in the flex position. Mooney, Pittman, Jarrett Patterson. I play Pittman there. Also, defense, Dolphins or 49ers. I have the San Francisco 49ers ahead of the Dolphins this week. Thank you, Fernie. Perry Lewis says, Mike Williams, question mark. Tyler Boyd or Jarrett Patterson. If I'm picking one out of the two, I probably play Jarrett Patterson over Tyler Boyd. If it was a full PPR, it'd be a different conversation, but I'd probably go Patterson. Mike Williams, look, here's my issue with Mike Williams. He doesn't score enough points for me to actually put some respect on the name. Now, maybe this week, just to go ahead and just put a cherry on top of the season, he goes off. Maybe he does. But, let's see. Let's take a little gander here. Let's look at Michael Williams' overall points in the last couple weeks in a half PPR scoring format. 5.9, 13.5, 9.1, and 6.4. Again, underwhelming, to say the least. And honestly, the best part of the Denver Broncos is their secondary, so I don't really trust it. Greg19 says, should I start Darrell Williams, Jordan Howard, or Derek Gumbawala in the flex? 1,000% Darrell Williams. Again, guys, these questions can be answered on screen. I appreciate you guys sending in questions via donation, supporting the channel in that regard. But Darrell Williams is my number 15 running back on the week. I have so much confidence in his potential based on what he was able to do in the absence of Clyde Edwards. When Clyde Edwards was not active, Darrell Williams was 15 points per week. So that's where I would go. Again, like I'm looking at someone question in the chat. Uriel Rivera says, Andrew, deciding between Ronald Jones and Elijah Mitchell at the flex, who should I go with? Again, it's on screen. I would go Ronald Jones. He's my number 5 running back in comparison to Elijah Mitchell, who's my number 13. So again, a lot of these questions could be answered on screen. These are up-to-date rankings as of this morning. Thank you very much. So let's go ahead and catch up real quick, and then I'll go ahead and once again reiterate the yes, rankings are on screen. And I'll get to my top 12 defenses again for the 4th time today in just a bit. Just got to catch up. To the max says full PPR. Pittman, Devin Singletary, or Jared Patterson. I played Devin Singletary. Full PPR. Pittman, Beasley, Rojo, Patterson, Carter. Thank you. Okay. 1,000% to the max. Devin Singletary in the first league. Rojo in the second league. You're good to go. Awesome. Congratulations. Mario Gonzalez. I had a buddy named Mauro. So yeah, I don't know why I clicked in there, but either way, Mario Gonzalez says Ronald Jones, Alvin Kamara, or Aaron Jones. Pick 2. I played Ronald Jones and Alvin Kamara. Thank you. Dylan Caddison says safest floors in a full PPR: Darrell Gumbawale, Jared Patterson, Kareem Hunt, Donta Foreman, Mike Evans. The safest floors is Jared Patterson and Darrell Gumbawale. That's what I would go in a PPR because both of them are going to catch the ball. Foreman, tough matchup. Hunt, don't know if he's going to play. And then he plays on Monday. Don't want to risk it. And Mike Evans, he's quote-unquote going to play at a limited capacity. Not interested. So I go Patterson and Dare. Colin Hayes says, OBJ over Jones. Worried about getting rested and Dylan takes over. I wouldn't do that. I'd play Aaron Jones over OBJ, especially in my championship game. But if you want to, play OBJ, by all means, you can go for it. Singletary or Javonte Williams over Chase. I wouldn't do that either. Especially in a full PPR. I don't think I'm going after that. I already have Mixon in the chip in all 3 leagues. Wow. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I wouldn't get too cute with it. I'd start your studs, play with what got you there, and that's what I would roll with. Thank you. Morph says, Rojo or Sony? 100% Rojo. Not even close. Enrique says, Antonio Brown, AJ Brown, Jalen Waddle, Darrell Williams, Elijah Mitchell, Sony Michel, Dalvin Cook. I need a running back 1 and 2. I need a wide receiver 2 and a flex. Russell Wilson or Trey Lance at the quarterback position. Okay. Enrique, this is what I would go with. Trey Lance over Russell Wilson at the quarterback position. At RB1, we are playing Elijah Mitchell, RB2, Dalvin Cook. It doesn't matter the order, but Elijah Mitchell, Dalvin Cook are your running backs. Your wide receiver 2. If I have to play 2 out of the 3 that you mentioned, though, I'm playing AJ Brown and Antonio Brown. Boom, boom. Easy. At the flex position, if it's a standard league, I am for sure playing a running back, which would then be Darrell Williams over Michelle. So again, to reiterate, Dalvin Cook, Elijah Mitchell at running backs, AJ Brown, Antonio Brown, wide receiver, flex, Darrell Williams, quarterback, Trey Lance. Thank you. Hakima says, first off, thank you for getting me to the championship. You're amazing. Full PPR, Darrell Williams, Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, or Hunter Renfrow must win. Everybody's in a must-win scenario. Glad to help you out as much as I possibly could. Hakima, I would go with Damian Harris. If Damian Harris is not active today somehow, some way, I'd go Darrell Williams. But right now, I'd go Damian Harris as the best overall option there. Appreciate it. Salty Dog, 1065. Let's see your Salty. Any questions sent into the chat? Okay, he got another one in. So let me just catch up to Salty Dog real quick. Says, I need 3 running backs out of Cook, Penny, Sony, Rojo, Najee. Also, Bills or Packers. I have the Bills defense higher than the Packers. If I'm playing a running back there, considering you have such studs at the running back position, if you want to not play Cook, which honestly you could get away with, you play Penny, Rojo, and Najee Harris, and you're good to go. And honestly, considering you have those options, I mean, I'm at the position where I'm probably opting in that direction just to be safe because you have so many stud players. Thank you, Salty. Jeremy Williams says, Jared Patterson or Amon-Ra St. Brown in a standard. In a standard league, I'd still play Amon-Ra St. Brown. Thank you. Hakima says, also Brady or Huntley? Huntley over Brady. Asaf says, full PPR championship game, Justin Jefferson or Amari Cooper? I think we answered this a little bit earlier. I'm still playing Justin Jefferson there. If you want to play Cooper, by all means, go for it, but I'd go with JJ. Billington Bosman says, Sony Michel, Javonte Williams, AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones, Rojo, pick 2. Rojo for sure. followed by Aaron Jones. So Rojo, Aaron Jones, those are my 2 suggestions there, Billington. Hector Perez Jr. says, for the championship, full PPR, I need to pick 3 running backs out of the following: Swift, Harris, Penny, Jones. Penny, Harris, Jones. I'd sit Swift this week. So I'm playing Damian Harris, Rashad Penny, and Aaron Jones. Thank you very much, Hector. EP Creativity. Let me see here if you have a question sent into the chat. EP says, McLaurin or Gage? I'd play Gage. Thank you very much, EP. I appreciate that. McLaurin has been off the grid. Imagine this was Tron. He has literally been off the grid for the last 17 weeks, so I'm not interested. Thank you, EP. Isaiah GM says, Aaron Jones, Swift, Zeke, Penny, Mitchell, pick one. If I'm picking one out of the group, I'm playing Rashad Penny this week. Garrett Botkin says, sell me on why I should be starting Boston Scott over Terry McLaurin. All right, well, here's the issue. Terry McLaurin takes on Darius Slay. Not interested in any capacity. Darius Slay's been one of the better cornerbacks this season, on top of the fact that Terry McLaurin has been nowhere to be found. When I say he's been off the grid, I mean literally the dude cannot score to save his life. I mean, it's an unfortunate factor. If Ryan Fitzpatrick was at the quarterback position, we might have a consistent stream of points. But as of late, 5.5, 6.1, 0, 3.7, 7.1. Those are the last 5 half PPR performances from Terry McLaurin. If you look at the last 5, plays from Boston Scott, when there's been no Miles Sanders, the dude's averaging 10 points per week. I'd rather just go with the safety of the running back, on top of the fact that he's got a better matchup ahead of him. Alrighty. Appreciate it, Garrett. Scott G says, Freiermuth or Devonta Smith in a PPR. Honestly, I'm playing Pat Freiermuth. Thank you. DeAndre Warren says, and I quote, Rams defense or Bears defense? I would go with the Bears. PPR, pick 3. DeAndre Swift, Zeke, Devonta Smith, Justin Jefferson, Patterson, Claypool. Also, Burrow or Huntley. Burrow over Huntley and Wilson, ? Yes, I'd play Burrow over Huntley and Wilson. As for your defense, I go with the Bears. As for picking 3 between those bunch of players, I'd go with JJ, Zeke, and Swift. Thank you very much, DeAndre Warren. I appreciate that. Dilo says, thanks for the help. The Sanders out change Cole rank. I think Sanders out only improves Gabriel Davis. Cole Beasley purely just has to compete with Isaiah McKenzie. That's it. Chris Carlino says, full PPR, AJ Dillon, Jarrett Patterson, Devontae Parker, flex full PPR. I'd go with AJ Dillon there. I'm already starting Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. Not sure about Dillon. Listen, if you don't want to put all of your eggs in one basket, even though it is a good basket to put them in, then the next best option would be going with Devontae Parker there. But for right now, I think you should be confident with AJ Dillon. Daryl Botkin says, really worried about Huntley over Lance. I think we talked about this like over an hour and a half ago. Listen, if what I have said this week in regards to both of them hasn't convinced you, then by all means play Trey Lance. Because I would rather you be confident with the play instead of worried about it. 100%. There's no reason in having your mental shatter before the game. Just put Lance in, you're fine. It's not a big deal. The difference between my number 11 quarterback and number 13 quarterback is not 40 points, guys. It's probably 3 or 4 points total in terms of projection. So, if you want to play Lance, you're good to go there. I'm still confident. I'm still starting him in a couple of my championship games, so you're good to go. Josh Rowe says, full PPR, I need 1 wide receiver and 2 flex options. We have AB, JJ, Lamb, Rojo, Elliott, Damian Harris. Wow, okay. So in terms of playing 2 flex options, I'm automatically playing Damian Harris and Rojo. Then I would just play Antonio Brown, a wide receiver. So AB, Rojo, Damian Harris. Thank you. Frederick says, hi, Andrew. Full PPR. Choose 2 wide receivers, 2 flex. We have Higgins, Deontay Johnson, Waddle, Renfro, JJ, Aaron Jones, Swift, Michelle. Wow. Man, you guys are stacked with these teams. Holy moly. 2 wide receivers and 2 flex. So, 2 wide receivers, beginning with the potential options. I'd play Higgins. In a full PPR, I'd play Waddle over Deontay Johnson. So, I'd go Higgins and Waddle. As for your 2 flex options, I would go Aaron Jones and Deontay Johnson. That's where I would go. Thank you. James Smith says, I got you to laugh at Ayuk versus Shanahan. Yep, I remember that. That's still one of the best comments of the year. With Emmanuel Sanders ruled out, Half PPR, wide receiver, 1 flex. Gabriel Davis, Brandon Cooks, Darrell Williams. I'm still going Brandon Cooks and Darrell Williams. Yeah. I'd still play both of them over Gabriel Davis today. Thank you. Matthew Schroeder. Let's hear Matthew. Is there any questions that you sent in? No. Matthew, if you can, there wasn't a message attached to your donation. If you could do me a favor and type it in the chat, that'd be greatly appreciated. All right, once again, I'm trying to catch up as best as I can. Let me see. Am I even close to catching up? I'm not that close. Wow. Okay. I got to go quickly, guys. Holy dude. Okay. We got to catch up. Matthew, we'll try to come back. If I'm going to wait and I'll keep my eye on the chat right now, but if not, I'm just moving on. TJ Bardsley says, PPR, 1 running back, 1 flex, and 1 wide receiver. We have Swift, Harris. Oh, my God. Oh, this is going to be crazy. John Rubio says, you skipped my dono. No, I haven't skipped your dono. I haven't even gotten to it yet. That's the difference, Joe Rubio. I haven't even gotten to it. It's there. I see it. It's like, I'm not even close, though. I'm like 20 questions away, my guy. So just be patient. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, here we go. Man, we got to catch up. It's gonna be tough. All right, TJ Bardsley. Okay, so we need 1 of each position. We have Swift, Harris, Penny, Renfro. Okay, so at running back, I'm playing Penny. At wide receiver, I'm playing St. Brown. At the flex position, I'm playing Harris. So Penny, Harris, St. Brown. As for Seahawks, Rams, or Browns defense, appreciate it. I would play the Seahawks defense versus the Lions today. Thank you. Manuel. AJ Brown, Penny, Darrell Williams, Javonte Williams, flex tonight, half PPR. In a half PPR scoring format, let's go with, if I'm playing 1, Rashad Penny or AJ Brown, I go Penny there. Nicholas Malabed says, pick 6 in a half PPR. Holy moly, guys. Debo, AJ Brown. Okay. I'm just looking at the... in a half PPR scoring format, if I'm picking 6 out of this group, Rojo, Debo, AJ Brown, AJ Brown, Damian Harris, that's 4, Antonio Brown, that's 5, Aaron Jones, that's 6. Thank you very much, Nicholas. Zach Hicks says, pick 2, flex, full PPR, Patterson, Devonta Freeman, or Gronk. If I'm picking 2, I'm playing Gronk and I'm playing Patterson. Thank you. Greg_19 says, Darrell Williams, Gabriel Davis, Devonta Smith. I'm playing Darrell Williams there, Greg. Appreciate it. Cameron Wells says, half PPR, AJ Green, Hunt, or Howard. In a half PPR, I'm playing AJ Green. Thank you. Pukes2X says, Landry, Boyd, MVS, PPR. Pick 1, Landry, Boyd, MVS, PPR. In a full PPR scoring format, I go with Jarvis Landry. Thank you. Safety Net 11 says, hey, Andrew, in a half PPR, sit 1 of the following. Lamb, If I'm sitting 1 out of the following, I'm sitting Lamb. Yeah, I'm playing Waddle, Higgins, Antonio Brown, and Keenan Allen over him. Dom says, 6 point per passing touchdown league. Do you still lean with Taysom over Lance? 6 point per passing touchdown league. Who has the higher chance? No. If it's a 6 point per passing touchdown league, I'd play Trey Lance. Thank you very much. Appreciate the question, Dom. Let's see here. Vicus. Okay, Vicus, here we go. Now I caught up to your question, my guys. So here we go. Trey Lance or Elijah Mitchell, flex. 100%, not even close. You're playing Trey Lance there, Vicus. I appreciate that. Shadow Bolt says, PPR starters are Mixon, Rojo, Adams, Cup. Need a flex. Pick 1. Dalvin Cook. Okay. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, OBJ, Chase, Carter, Javonte Williams. I'm for sure playing Dalvin Cook there in your flex position, Shadow Bolt. Thank you. Dale Derrick, thank you very much for the generous donation. Full PPR. Wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, flex 2, Deebo Samuel, Devontae Adams, Joe Mixon, Dalton Schultz. Holy moly. Okay, so if we're playing some of those respective options, Devontae Adams and Deebo Samuel are automatic wide receiver 1 and 2, shouldn't even be questioned by you. As for your flex, your first flex should be Joe Mixon, undoubtedly. And then your second flex in a full PPR would be CeeDee Lamb. Thank you very much, Dale. I appreciate it. Nicole Trombley says, pick 2, Osborne, Dale, Callaway, Carter, Burkhead. Out of the group, if we're picking 2 and it's a half PPR scoring format, I would go with I go Callaway and Carter. Thank you. DYLY bar 4 says full PPR Ayuk, Gallup, or Stevenson, Parker, or Scott. Full PPR, I go Boston Scott. Not really trusting Ayuk. I feel like they'll run all day. Yeah, there's a very good chance that they do that. But yeah, I'd go Boston Scott either way. Cody 60 says Gabe Davis or Hollywood Brown. The guy I'm starting has Allen. Do I play Hollywood Brown or do I play Gabriel Davis? Considering Emmanuel Sanders is out, I'd feel more confident with Gabriel Davis. So I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'd go Gabriel Davis there. If it's my team and I'm starting lineup right now, I'd throw in Gabriel Davis. Hollywood Brown has upside, but so does Gabriel Davis. I think it's very equal. Justin McCod says, pick 2 full PPR. Agumbawale, Gabriel Davis, Cordero Patterson, Michael Gallup. I'd play Gabriel Davis and Cordero Patterson. Thank you, Justin. Eddie Ricky says, pick 2, Swift, Zeke, Singletary, Penny, full PPR. I would play Penny and I would play Swift. Thank you. Appreciate it. Vickis sends in another question. Says full PPR Chase Edmonds or Russell Gage. I'd go with Chase Edmonds. And then follow up Brady or Huntley. I'd play Huntley. Thank you. Nathan says half PPR Amari Cooper or Justin Jefferson. Talked about it earlier with somebody else. I'd go Justin Jefferson. Also, pick Darrell Williams or DeAndre Swift. I'd play Darrell Williams. Thank you. Bibby K says, who would you bench out of Najee Harris, AB, or AJ Brown? If I have to bench one, I'd bench AB. Also, Rams versus Huntley or Chicago defense. I play Chicago. The End Zone says, I'm scared of Russ in the snow. Russell Gage in the snow versus the Bills. I have Berrios and Mike Williams at wide receiver in the toilet bowl. Save me. If it's a full PPR scoring format, I would play Russell Gage. Even in a half PPR, yeah, I'm still playing Russell Gage. I wouldn't change it. Iman Lynch says, thanks for all the help this year, Andrew. I'm in the chip thanks to you. Amari Cooper or Renfro? I'd play Amari Cooper in a PPR. Does the fact that my opponent has Lamb affect that at all? It doesn't affect it. I'm just trying to play the best overall player. I think it's Amari Cooper. Nick Stano says Huntley or Trey Lance against Andrews. I'd still play Huntley there. Green Bay versus Philly defense. I'd play Green Bay. Lockett versus AJ Dillon. I'd play Lockett. Thanks for everything, Andrew. No problem, Nick. Appreciate it. Walker 5530 says, good morning, Andrew. Good morning. I need help as my running backs pick 3. Najee Harris, David Montgomery, Rojo, Penny. Wow. If we're picking 3 out of this group, I'm playing Rojo, Montgomery, and I think I'm playing... Wow. Am I playing Najee? Yeah, I have to. No. Yeah, I have to. Najee Harris over Penny. So I'm going, again, Rojo, Montgomery, and Najee Harris. Those are your 3 options. You're good to go. Joe B says, previous question, I needed 3 wide receivers. 1 flex, Lockett, Metcalf, and okay, got it. So instead of it saying just wide receivers, it meant to be 3 wide receivers. Got it. So you play Lockett, you play Metcalf, and you play MVS, Parker. Yeah, I mean, flex Parker, the full PPR, Ogunbowale, Yeah, look, so Lockett and Metcalf automatic at wide receiver. I'd follow with MVS a wide receiver as well. You play Kamara at running back. You try to play Pollard you try to play Connor. If he doesn't play, you play Pollard. And then you play Parker over Ogunbowale and you're good to go. Andrew Horton says, do you trust Elijah Mitchell off the injury with Trey Lance at the quarterback position? Or is it safe to just play with Michelle even if he's lower ranking in a half PPR? If you're looking for just safety, Michelle probably has... Man, it's Houston, though. It's Houston. The thing that I said earlier this stream was I don't know how healthy Elijah Mitchell is. I'm assuming he'll be fine. So that's why I trust him. But if you just want to play safety, play with a guy that's had 20 touches each of the last 4 games, then you just play with Michelle and you're good to go. Noah says, defense, Bears or Packers? I have Bears higher. Thank you. DC King Fat says, standard format, I need a flex play. Rashad Penny, Boston Scott, Isaiah McKenzie. 1000% Rashad Penny. KJ says, would you sit Justin Jefferson for any of the following players? Jared Patterson, Pittman, Renfro, Devonta Foreman. No, I play Justin Jefferson. Thank you, KJ. Aaron Roscoe says, full PPR. Pitts, Ertz, or Henry. In this game, I have DK. I'd probably play Hunter Henry there, to be honest. Actually, no. I play Everett over Henry, then I play Pitts. So I'm going Everett. So you got to probably double stack those Seahawks today. No option says Chicago or Dallas defense. Chicago. Pretty sure. I'll go ahead and reiterate it. My top 12 defenses: Tampa, New England, New Orleans, Chicago, Buffalo, Dallas, Green Bay, San Francisco, Miami, Philadelphia, Seattle, Indianapolis. Thank you. Joe Rubio, we finally caught up to your question. Says PPR 8 points per touchdown. Do I start Sony at the flex even if I have Odell Beckham and Kupp starting? Or Agumbawale? Yeah, I would play Sony at the flex. You're good to go there. Start all your Rams. Thank you. Andy Lynn says half PPR, pick 2. Wide receivers Devonta Smith, Van Jefferson, KJ McKenzie. By the way, I'm going to make a suggestion. It is 9:40. If you're thinking about sending in a donation for a question, I might not even catch up to it. So preemptively, be cautious. It may not be answered before 10 o'clock. Just throwing it out there. So be careful if you decide to send it in now. Otherwise, everything that's been sent in, I will get to it. And then after that, we'll kind of adjust. Anyway, Andy Lynn, 2 wide receivers. Out of the following, we have Devonta. Okay, so I would play Devonta Smith and Van Jefferson. Good to go there. As for 2 running backs, Edmonds, Patterson, Boston Scott, Jordan Howard, I would play Edmonds and Boston Scott. And then for 1 flex out of the potential options, I would play, at that point, we probably have to play Cordero Patterson. So yeah, Devonta Smith, Van Jefferson, Edmonds, Cordero Patterson, Boston Scott. Those are your options, Andy Lynn. Thank you. Craft Keeper says PPR, Lance or Huntley. Again, a lot of people keep asking. I keep going Huntley. If you want to play Lance, you can. I got Debo, but I still need 1 wide receiver and 1 flex. We have St. Brown, Cook, and Lockett. Okay, so I would play St. Brown and Cook this week. Secondly, should I start Justin Jefferson or St. Brown or Van Jefferson? I play Justin Jefferson. Thank you. Jesus says, full PPR. I need 2 running backs, 1 flex. Swift, Patterson, Penny, Harris, Antonio Brown. In a full PPR, your flex is going to be Antonio Brown, and you're going to play at your running back positions Damian Harris and Rashad Penny. Thank you. James King says championship on the line. DK Metcalf, Christian Kirk, Tyler Boyd, Gabriel Davis, full PPR. I would probably feel most comfortable playing DK Metcalf, Christian Kirk over the rest. So that's where I would go. If I have to pick one in a full PPR, I'd rather play Christian Kirk though. Yeah, I go Christian Kirk full PPR. Berlin B says, where does Gabe Davis go since Sanders is out? Gabriel Davis is a tricky son of a gun because he is coming off of the COVID list, and I don't know if he's going to be like Tyreek Hill last week and kill us. But if for sure he is out, which you guys have said, I think he's really safe sitting at wide receiver 24. That's probably where I put him, and I move everybody respectively down. Brian Roman, or at least 25. At least 25. Brian says, Ertz or Schultz? I play Schultzy. New Orleans or Bills? I play New Orleans. Thank you very much, Brian. Appreciate it. Taylor says, Mac Jones or Tannehill? I play Tannehill. Kendall Hinton, Galladay or Sutton? I would play Sutton there. 1 point PPR, Superflex tight end premium. Good to know. I mean, there's no tight ends in that list anyway, but yeah, I would go with Tannehill and I would go with Sutton. Thank you very much, Taylor. Drew Frazier says, any concerns on Antonio Brown with his ankle and Evans back? Evans is at limited capacity. He'll probably play 50% of the snaps. I'm not too worried about AB as long as he suits up. Deontay Johnson, DJ Moore, Amari Cooper, Antonio Brown. I'm just wondering. Yeah, look, if he's suiting up, he's in my lineup. If you're worried about it, you've got good other options if you want to play Deontay Johnson, but I personally am keeping Mr. Antonio Brown in my lineup. John Smoth says, Scott, St. Brown, Kirk. Okay, I play St. Brown, Kirk, and Scott in that order. No, I play St. Brown, Scott, and then Kirk. But either way, St. Brown is your option there, John. As for Mills, Ben, Tua, or Dalton, I'm playing Dougie Mills. I'm playing Dalton, or whatever his name is. Davis Mills. So St. Brown and Mills, thank you. John Helmuth, man, I am frazzled right now. I'm trying to catch up so badly. St. Brown or Mitchell? Josh Helmuth, I would play Mitchell. Pats defense or Bills? I'd play Pats. Dom sends another question. Says, pick full PPR McLaurin, Jarvis Landry, Derek Gumbawale, or Rex Burkhead. I would play Jarvis Landry in a PPR. Alvaro says, flex help. Gamble with Hunt, Carter, Gesicki, Galladay, Howard, Anderson. If I'm picking one out of that group, I'm playing Jordan Howard. If he's active today, which I assume he is. Also, Rams or Pats defense. Only get points for shutdown or shutout, interceptions, sacks, touchdowns, etc. Yeah, I'd play the Patriots defense. They're going to kill the Jaguars today. Let's see if Mark's question was in the chat at all. Let's see. Mark, no, hasn't sent anything. Okay. Mark, if you could send in a question, Amatucci, send that into the chat right now, and I'll try to answer it. There wasn't a message attached to your original donation. Vickis says, full PPR, Gage, Edmonds. I'd go Edmonds. Brady or Huntley? I'd go Huntley. We're good to go. Just like we answered last time. Alex J says, sit one. Swift, Darrell Williams, or Justin Jefferson. In a half PPR, I'm willing to sit Justin Jefferson there. Thank you. Steven Talbot says, I'd the Bucks go up either the Bucks. Okay, well, I mean, you put I'd, so I don't know what that even. Okay, the Bucks go up early against the Jets, which is likely. Which they sub out Ronald Jones. Do you think? No, I don't think so. I think they probably drop as many points as they can. They're going to try to put up as solid as a lead. I mean, it's the NFL, right? You can't just bench a guy and assume the defense isn't going to come back or the opposing offense isn't going to come back. So Ronald Jones will be playing until the fourth quarter. And then with 9 minutes remaining, they'll pull him like he did last week. Thank you. Here we go. Next question. Narajan Official says, love the channel. I'm in an 8-man PPR league. I have Cook, Mixon, Chubb, Harris, Rojo. Who do I sit out of the group? If I'm sitting one, it is probably Harris because I played Mixon, Chubb, and Rojo over him. So yeah, I would sit Harris. Thank you. Did Mr. Mark send in a question or type in the chat? No, Mark didn't show up. No, okay. Moving on. Berlin B says Gabe Davis or Goddard in a standard league. In a standard league, I would play Gabe Davis because I don't think Goddard's really scoring touchdowns because of how much those running backs and the quarterback run down in the goal line. It's Magic says full PPR. Need a flex. Should I play Renfro, Singletary, or Evans? I'd play Renfro. I have Swift at running back over Singletary. Do you think they'll have the same workload? Or should I play Packers defense or Saints? So I play Saints defense. I play Renfro wide receiver. I play Swift over Singletary at running back. You're good to go. David says full PPR. Pick 3. Chubb, Gordon, Barkley, Howard, and Ayuk and Brandon Cooks. Okay, so if I'm picking 3 out of that 5-man group, I'm playing Brandon Cooks, Gordon, and Chubb. Right? Oh, maybe. Okay. I'm going to assume that you didn't mean that way. Okay. I'm going to assume you mean pick 3 running backs and then pick one of the 2. I go Brandon Cooks over Ayuk. I pick Chubb, Barkley, and I play Gordon. Thank you. Derek A says full PPR, Swift, Michelle, Huntley, or Brady. I play Huntley over Brady. I play in a full PPR. I want to play Swift over Michelle. I'd be safe with it. I just play Michelle. Thank you. Stephen Vale says, should I start Penny over Swift? Yes. Play Penny over Swift. Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate it. Am I even close to catching up here? I am. Okay, almost there. We got 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Jamie Luce says, full PPR. Keenan Allen, A.J. Brown, Antonio Brown, Deontay Johnson, CeeDee Lamb. Which 3 would you start? I'd play A.J. Brown, I'd play Antonio Brown, and I'd play Deontay Johnson. Thank you. If you're worried about AB, you just play Keenan Allen and you're not even stressing. Ray C says Pitts or Ertz. I play Ertz. It's Magic says last question. I have Cook. I might not want Packers defense. Last question. I have Cook. Might not want Packers. Even if you have Cook, I'd just play Packers defense anyway because they're gonna get sacks. They're gonna get turnovers. But like if you want to opt out, you can pivot. Rockout says 1 running back, 1 flex. We have Carter, Gage, Freeman, Penny. Okay, so Penny automatically starts at running back. As for your flex position, in a full PPR scoring format of the potential options that you've mentioned, I play Gage. So Penny, Gage, thank you. Steve with a V94 says Sonny Michel or T. Higgins in the flex half PPR. I go T. Higgins, thank you. Justin Davis says, would you start at the flex? Kamara, Penny, Higgins, St. Brown, Lazard. I'd play Kamara in the flex. Thank you, Justin. I Shine 101. Welcome back. Says Boston Scott, Devontae Parker, Scary Terry. PPR pick 1. I play Boston Scott. Thank you. Lilish 479 says pick 1. Saquon, Mike Williams, Gallup, Robbie Anderson, Dara Gumbawale. Saquon, Mike Williams, Gallup, I mean, okay, if I'm picking one and playing, I'm just gonna pick Saquon and roll with him today against Chicago. Sean Foley says Huntley or Taysom Hill. I play Taysom Hill. Brandon Nelson says pick one. Mike Williams, Mike Gallup, Gabriel Davis. I'm playing Davis over the bunch there. I have AJ Brown and Deontay starting already. Yeah, I play Gabe Davis there. Thank you. Adam sends in a question, says why Dylan over Carter with so many Jets out. They play against Tampa Bay. That's why. Because I don't trust the matchup. Double AC says Jefferson or Renfro. I see your ranks, but I'm worried about the quarterback situation in the cold. My opponent has Dalvin, championship week. Listen, I'm still confident that Justin Jefferson is going to get work. He might not score a touchdown, but he'll get himself receptions and yardage. And I'm confident of that. There is no Jair Alexander today. And last time he took this team on, I know he had Kirk Cousins, but he still went for 34 fantasy points. So I still think there's a lot of value in Justin Jefferson, so I'd still play him over Renfro. Dylan Simpson says, need a running back and 2 flex options in a full PPR scoring format. We have Stevenson, we have Howard, we have Patterson, we have DJ Moore. Okay. So of the available options that you've mentioned, Dylan, I'm playing DJ Moore in one of your flex spots. I'm playing, it's a full PPR. So I'd go Jared Patterson at RB1, DJ Moore at flex, Tyler Boyd at flex. Thank you. Daniel Ochoa says, Gage or Hollywood Brown. In a full PPR scoring format, I'd rather play... In a full PPR, I would play Hollywood Brown. Thank you. Justin Wall. Let's see if you send in a message in the chat anytime soon so I can maybe catch up to it. Justin? Yes, Justin Wall. Full PPR. Need one flex starting with a 30-point projection lead. I want to play safe with the floor. We have DK Metcalf, Cole Beasley, Gabriel Davis, James Conner, Jared Patterson, and Ramondre Stevenson. If we're trying to play safe with this, I mean, there really isn't safety with this bunch except for hoping that James Conner plays and he falls into the end zone. That is your biggest safety play there for the flex. And that's probably my suggestion. But it's just a matter of whether or not you can replace him if he doesn't play. So let me see here. NFL. Oh, man. I have 8 minutes. Holy moly. My brain's going to explode, guys. Okay, this is what I would say. For right now, because I don't know, and I don't want to look at it right now because I got to catch up. Justin, I would play James Conner. That's the safest play. If, in fact, you have another option for the afternoon, if one of these other guys plays in the afternoon, then you're fine. But otherwise, if you don't have that potential, you would just play DK this morning. I think DK plays in the afternoon. So, yeah, James Conner, DK is the pivot. Thank you. Ishram says, half PPR, should I flex Ogunbowale, McKenzie, or Jared Patterson? I play Patterson. Thank you. Again, a lot of the rankings are on screen. Michael Devine says, half PPR, Rojo, Eckler, Michelle, Aaron Jones. 12 points per receiving touchdown for running backs. Wow. Rojo, Michelle are going to get so many carries. Jones splits, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So if I'm picking, I don't know how many I'm picking, but if I'm ranking it, I'm playing Eckler number 1, Rojo number 2, Aaron Jones number 3, Michelle number 4. That's my suggestion. Thank you. Matt R says Barrios or Kendrick Bourne, full PPR. Barrios. Thank you very much, Matt R. Ricardo Torres says Odell Beckham, Cordero Patterson, Kittle, Ertz, start 2 in a full PPR flex. Odell Beckham Jr., George Kittle. Those are my 2 suggestions, Ricardo. The AMC Fearson says, how do you feel about Everett, Komet, or Henry? Rankings still hold. I have Henry over. Okay, so if it's a half PPR, it's Henry, Everett, Komet. If it's a full PPR, it's Everett, Henry, Komet. So either way, it's either Everett or Henry, depending on format. How you doing? James sends in a question. Says full PPR championship game. Michelle or Renfro? I mean, not Michelle. Mitchell or Renfro? I play Mitchell. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Carlton Collins says Hunter Renfro, Javonte Williams, Elijah Mitchell. I play Elijah Mitchell. Then Javonte, then Hunter Renfro. Andrew Pacina says Everett, Muth, or Moreau. I play Muth over the bunch. Christian Kirk or DK Metcalf full PPR. I play Christian Kirk over DK Metcalf full PPR. Braden Coase says pick 2 full PPR. Penny, Gabe Davis, Renfro, Mitchell. I play both running backs. I play Penny and Mitchell. Daniel O'Hare says 10-team full PPR, need 2 of 4. Patterson, Smith, Ayuk, Chase Edmonds. I'd play Edmonds and I'd play Patterson. Also DeAndre Swift or Elijah Mitchell, full PPR. I'd play Elijah Mitchell. Thank you. David Ramos says, hi, flex, DK, Singletary, OBJ. I'm still good with rolling with OBJ. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going OBJ there. Yeah, let's go OBJ, Singletary, DK in that order. Alejandro Marinetti says, thanks for everything, my friend. Finals today with one of my leagues. I'm in third place in the other. Huge help throughout the season. I'm grateful. Thank you very much, Alejandro. Glad I could help. Nomad. Let's see here, Nomad. Nomad. Anything new from you, Nomad, in the chat? Nomad says, Justin or T. Higgins? Who the heck? Oh, Justin Jefferson or T. Higgins? I play T. Higgins. Again, guys, wow, okay, I caught up. Everything is on screen in terms of half PPR rankings within individual positions. I know flex questions need to be answered, but boy, I literally just struggled to get all those questions answered, and we've been here for an hour and a half, an hour and 50 minutes. Maybe next year I'll do it for 4 hours, but holy moly. I didn't expect it to be this many questions. I know it is tough and you're trying to get your questions answered, and I get it, but holy moly. It's okay. Jake G. I got to go back to answering questions. Says flex Dylan, Patterson, Mooney, Parker, PPR. I'm confident going with Dylan. I honestly think this is a game where he could definitely, cash in and score a touchdown. Noah sends in a question, says Kareem Hunt or Mike Evans? Man, I would go with neither, but if I had to pick one, I would play Kareem Hunt. Abel Flores, let's see here. What is the question here, Abel? Abel says, should I bench Carter for Penny? 1,000%. Please, guys, play Penny. Guys, I'm telling you, I mean, in 2 out of the last 3 weeks, the games that he hasn't played against the Los Angeles Rams, he's gone for 130 rushing yards and at least a rushing touchdown minimum. He's going to go off against Detroit. He's a championship winning running back. That's why he's in my top 10. Guys, it's on the screen. I'm trying to help so much. Owen Horrigan says, no points per reception, 6 points per 100 yards. Mike Williams or Jared Patterson? Mike Williams. If we're trying to cash in on yardage purely, but I don't think he's going to get it. Let's go Jared Patterson. Yeah, I'm going to play it safe. I honestly don't think that Mike Williams can get over 100 yards. So Jared Patterson is probably the better option. Or Boston Scott. Thank you. Okay, if Boston Scott is in the conversation, I play Boston Scott in a standard league. Thank you. 916 Chaos Lord says Edmonds or OBJ? Thanks for the season. I would play OBJ. If there was confirmation that Connor wasn't going to play, then I would go with Edmonds. But no, there isn't a confirmation. OBJ plays in the morning. Connor plays in the afternoon. I'm playing OBJ right now. Okay. Did I miss anything? Let me scroll back up here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so there was a lot of questions that had no donation, or they had a donation sent in, but there wasn't a message attached. I got to go see if I can find who that was and if they've typed in the chat as of late, because we did Vicus. Matthew Schroeder. Let's see if you're in here, my guy. No, Matthew Schroeder. He's just gone. Okay. Appreciate it, though. EP Creativity. We got to him or her or they. Salty Dog. We already did that one. Okay. So let me go to the bottom right here. Okay. Bob sends in okay, so a couple more questions flew in. Holy moly, guys. Joseph Corona, says Deontay Johnson or Amon-Ra St. Brown? I'd play Deontay Johnson. Bob sends in a question, says standard league, Rex Burkhead or Hollywood Brown? I'd play Rex. Yeah, probably in a standard league. If I'm not going to get a guaranteed touchdown out of Hollywood Brown, there's probably a better chance of Rex Burkhead scoring. So, yeah, I'd go Rex there. Ron N. There's no message attached. My nightmare, literally. Any question, Ron? It says Keenan Allen or Sony Michel in a full PPR. I'd play Keenan Allen. Chef Conch says Darrell or Swift. I'd play Darrell Williams over DeAndre Swift. Prime 8 plays. Says Penny or Deontay Johnson in standard. 1,000% Rashad Penny. 1,000%. Not even close. 916 Chaos Lord says your preseason hype of Deontay Johnson was crucial to my season. Yeah, listen, when I am confident enough to bang the drum for 7 straight weeks on Deontay Johnson, it's because I really do believe in a player. When I only tout them for a couple weeks, That's how you know it's kind of like not 100% confidence. But there's a reason why I was on Deontay Johnson all offseason, because he's a stud. Xavier Garcia says, Penny, Swift, St. Brown flex. Play Penny and Swift. Xavier Garcia, play Penny and Swift, and you're good to go, and you're winning the championship. Okay, it is 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you, everybody. If you were in here and you sent in a donation, thank you. If you're in here and you asked a question in the chat and it didn't get answered, I tried my very best. I was answering questions to the last second. But hopefully, the rankings that are on screen helped you. Hopefully, me talking about other people's scenarios found an answer for you. Gave you some confidence in that. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. This has been an incredible season. I'm not done. Next week, we got week 18. And though it is going to be complete chaos, we'll see how week 18 goes. For those of you who are still trying to play in a week 18 championship, obviously change that next year. But I'll be here next week with, typical videos. Tomorrow we'll talk about waiver wire, all that kind of stuff. And then going into the NFL playoffs, we'll have content regarding that for the rest of the month. Enjoy today's games. Of course, this is going to be complete. I don't know what to expect today. I know what to expect. But the only thing I typically know what to expect of is like chaos, disappointment, pain, suffering. That is fantasy football. If I had to describe it, those are the words, those are the adjectives that I would go ahead to describe fantasy football in its entirety. But it's also the best sport in the world, and that's why we play it. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Connor's out. Are you serious? All right. Whoever asked me, Edmonds or OBJ, switch it. Hurry. Oh, no. It's 10:01. Yo, are you serious? Is Connor actually out? Oh, my God. My brain's going to hurt, guys. Why do they do this stuff? Are you sure Connor's out? I don't really care. It's 10:01 now. You can't really change your lineup. But, hey, Chase Edmonds, he's a top 10 back in my eyes now. So, Chase Edmonds is a stud play. So if you've got a question regarding Chase Edmonds, and let me just check this. Hold up. Before I take somebody's word, I don't want to sell the bag here. Latest news. Where is it? Is there anything? I don't think so. I think someone's trolling me. There's got to be some trolling, right? Who said it? Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport? Who said it? Let's see here. Latest. Yeah, there's nothing about James Conner being out. What? You guys are trolling me. I'm leaving now. Let's see here. Full PPR. Patterson, Mitchell, Javonte Williams, Darrell Williams. Need 2 running backs. I would play Elijah Mitchell, and I would play Darrell Williams there. Jason. I appreciate that, Cole. Thank you very much. No problem, Dylan. Appreciate it. Swift or Amon-Ra? Swift. Said doubtful for Connor. Got it. Is it the Fox? Is it the Fox host you're referring to? Is it Jay Glazer? Because if it's Jay Glazer, then I believe it. Because Jay Glazer's actually, he knows his stuff. Taysom or Huntley? I'd play. I think it's too late to play Huntley right now. I think he plays right now, right? All right, ladies, gentlemen, children of all ages, I appreciate it. I'm going to go watch some games and yell at my TV for the next 3 hours and lose my voice. Good luck. I hope everybody wins. Sometimes you get rolled and you got, you draw a bad hand, and hopefully there's no injuries. That's all I'm hoping for. We'll see how it goes. Thank you, everybody. What is this question? If Connor is out, Edmonds is better than Elijah Mitchell? No. Oh, sorry. Yes. If Connor is out, Edmonds is better than Elijah Mitchell. Yes. 100%. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Awesome. Someone says, whoa, big donation. No. That's not a big. Okay. I don't know what that is. What is CLP? What is CLP currency? Let's see here. CLP to USD. So if it's 25,000. Oh, that is a big donation. That's $30. Yo, that is a big donation. Alejandro, you're a beast. Let's go. All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I think it was Peter Schrager. Okay, Peter Schrager knows his shit as well. So we're good to go. All right. I'm outie. I'm going to go yell at the TV. I appreciate you guys. Good luck and Happy New Year.